my God, we're here. We're live on the internet. I wonder if everybody can hear any of you. You guys should all talk and say things, and let's see if actually everything is like working tonight. That'll be a critical moment.
It's just me being a punk. You. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hi. How's everyone doing? We're not going to talk about raisins this time, or raisinette. Maybe we talk about raisinets.
Well, now that you've said something, who knows?
Yeah.
The raisin thing stuck with me for quite a while after last week, and then I saw just yesterday, who was it? A survivor, Gabby Pascuzzi was talking about, or today was talking about like inadvertently getting like macaroni salad with raisins in it, and that they were like tragically hungry enough to have to eat it anyway. Oh, good. Bugbear's here. Bugbear. I think everybody you should be able to hear tonight. I think. It appears like settings were changed in OBS internally, which I was not appraised of, and they have been corrected. I hope. I think. Yeah.
Kurt, I had some grapes that I hadn't finished, and they were at the point I was like, yeah, if I don't like eat all, they're gonna go bad. And it's like, oh, you can put them in the freezer, just like old times. So I did that. That was great.
Juice marbles. I still haven't tried that. I really need to try.
Do you put them in wine, or do you just eat them cold?
Just eat them cold, but putting them in wine would be good.
I learned that tip from my cousin's wife, and yeah, it's like instead of ice cubes because it doesn't water down your wine.
Yeah. Smart.
Back on the topic of raisins, I remember several years ago I went to a marketing conference, and they had like the snack layout between sessions, and I did I love chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And it was like, oatmeal raisin, which is and so for the remaining 15 minutes of that break, I stood there and warned people.
Amazing. Doing the Lord's work.
That's exactly.
That's amazing.
And every single person who was like reaching for the oatmeal raisin thanked me and did not take the oatmeal raisin.
Yes. Oh my God.
I had one of those this summer where it was like a late night. I was out at a concert and was like on my way home and stopped at the gas station at like 2:00 in the morning, filled up the tank, nice tall cup of coffee, grabbed a 10 stack of cookies. I was like total impulse buy. I was like, oh, they look so good. Like I can smell the chocolate, the confections in the air. Like, oh my God, they were so soft through the package. Like I was ecstatic, like 12 miles away from the gas station. I ripped that first package open and bit down, and it was just pure heartbreak.
Oh my God.
I think
10 of them.
If I ever run for political office, which I probably won't, but if I ever did, I think part of my platform would be a statute requiring that raisin cookies be like dyed purple or some other mechanism to identify them explicitly.
Properly labeled.
At least like properly labeled, right?
There's nothing wrong with a really tasty oatmeal raisin cookie when that's what you're looking for.
There is, but fine.
But when it's not what you're looking for, it's not welcome.
You guys ready to have your mind blown? My Italian grandma off the boat from Naples used to make meatballs, of course, right? Italian grandma, like spaghetti and meatballs. This was a staple.
Oh, God, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah,
I'm going.
In every one of those meatballs. Raisins.
No!
I didn't even know what was going on
some
here.
Lord
And
of
I can't even believe
Blitzburg
that.
stuff there.
I know. I'm like,
Don't you?
Yeah.
Why?
not to like publicly slander grandma, but like, I spent 30
Come
years,
on, Grandma.
picking
Come
around
on.
raisins, and
Get
she would
her.
be like, "Butterici, you needed the raisin," She used to put
Grandma
pinoles
got
in
run
there,
over
too.
by Rich driving a bus over
Yeah, I
her
know.
reputation
I know.
as a culinary.
I'm just like, my beloved grandma. Let me talk some crap about her. Yeah. She put pine nuts in there too, and pinoles are a delightful treat to find inside a meatball. So they counteracted the raisins to a certain extent, especially when I was 7 years old. But I used to special request, please, no raisins. And then she would tell me, I didn't put the raisins in this one. Lied every time. She tried to sneak those goddamn raisins to me, like, for years, Anyway.
Like, are they even that good for you that it's something worth sneaking? Like, I get, like, when you sneak, like, spinach into something or whatever, but, like, raisins are,
Oh, yeah.
like, they're
Tell me if I'm
good
wrong,
for you
Face,
that you
right? But
bothered.
this feels like one of those grandmother things, especially one of those like Nepali grandmother things where it's not about that it's healthy. It's about like that's the proper way that she knows how to make them, and therefore any variations just feels wrong.
Yep. Yeah. She was a staunch traditionalist.
My mother, if she saw me doing this, she would. Yeah.
Continue doing your impression of Rich's grandmother, please.
No, I think I'll pass. But just remember, in post-show recaps world, there is an Asheroni out there somewhere. That is.
Yeah. The first time I met Troy, I did an impression of a mouse speaking with an Italian accent, which was really an impression of me doing an impression of my grandma, and it titillated Josh Wiggler to no end. So expect that to turn up in Humblewood somewhere along the way.
Done.
Very fun.
Cool. How is everyone today? Are you guys
it's
all
been
good?
Stressful.
It's been a harrowing day.
Endlessly stressed.
Yeah.
Endlessly.
Yeah. It's been a harrowing week for me in real life. You three have had a harrowing day in like a play-by-post adventure. You're being like tormented emotionally in Ravenloft, some other characters. So tonight we're just going to have a light jaunt in space. No worries.
Whimsy.
Great.
Yeah, whimsy. Whimsy and insects, as we've identified.
Whimsy and
Ugh.
Yeah, whimsy.
Bugs and hugs.
carapace.
Bugs and hugs.
Bugs and hugs.
Nope, don't
That's
like
a
that.
piece of merch waiting to happen right there, Troy. Thank you for yet another gimme.
Look, I gotta watch out for DM Philly Inc. You know.
Yeah, it's true. I'm moving in on all your turf. Bugs and hugs. Find them both on the Dragonfly at sunset. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what you all are going to get into tonight. We're really excited. Obviously, Kurt is here. We got Jake back. That's exciting. It's been a second. It's been a harrowing few weeks. We've been, as we often are, frantically before we turn online, trying to figure out who's got what magic items and what things have fallen through the cracks. We kind of did that. But yeah,
Fair to say for anyone who like hasn't doesn't know in the show, like the conception of the show is we wouldn't necessarily always all be here every week, and so this was inevitable. It was inevitable that there was going to be a little bit of like shell gaming. No offense, Jake, but it's been
much
fun.
reverence, perhaps. If I were better at having conceptualized this before we started it, I might have put a system in place, Grace, to ensure that we tracked magic items. But real oversight, and I'm just like rolling with the chaos at this point. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll get there eventually. It's only episode 21. Only. I don't know. Do you guys have any like major questions? Is there anything like we should go over or anything like that? Any sort of like homework, bookkeeping stuffs? No. Yep, that's the typical
think of
awkward
just like
silence
recap
there.
stuff of where we are and where we're going, but I think we'll get there.
Okay. So I think with that we shall jump back into it. So I think that where last we left our heroes, the crew of the intrepid Dragonfly, the small Spelljammer vessel carving its way across the stars of our odd little campaign. The lot of you had encountered a space station called the Aether Station. When you stopped there, you discovered it was run by an individual named Occam, a collector of sorts who had, at his grand compound, a great display, an exhibit of sorts of all manner of creatures and oddities collected from across the stars. Amongst this collection were in fact some individuals, people as they can only be described, some of whom you helped escape. The individual known as Yana and the frog person called Sharp Jumper. The pair of them having boarded the Dragonfly, the lot of you took off, fleeing the Aether Station with Occam's personnel in hot pursuit. You went to the Decidium Spiral, an asteroid field formed by a planet ripping itself apart, during its revolutions, and navigating through the debris of the asteroid field, you encountered an outrider for a community here, a place called Bridge, run by a changeling woman named Mati. They offered you shelter in exchange for some assistance. You traveled to another plane and back and began to develop a relationship with these people when you caught word from the outriders that the ship which had been pursuing you was closing in to the territory surrounding Bridge, scouring the asteroid field looking for you. In hopes to lure it away, the lot of you fled this tiny community hidden in one of the asteroids hurtling through space around this broken planet, and you began to lure the pursuing ship after you, called the Rover. It was a much larger ship than yours, built in a more traditional style of what we might recall as a sort of classic Renaissance naval vessel. Ship-to-ship combat ensued, and the lot of you managed to turn, boarding the Rover, conquering their crew, taking prisoner the captain, some strange spellcaster amongst them, and a brutish soldier named Cade, who was a traitor to the lot of them, having told you that he would help you defeat his crewmates if you allowed him to leave with the ship. So having captured the Rover, the Dragonfly had sustained damage in the ship-to-ship combat. The lot of you decided to land, making repairs, stopping down on one of the largest asteroids hurtling through this ever-moving field. You separated, some of you guarding the prisoners on the Rover, some of you sleeping, some of you, meaning Doc and Waffle, working to repair the damage to the Dragonfly. Some 9 hours after your pause, a swarm of these insect-like creatures called Kruthic came rolling up over the side of the asteroid, storming both ships. And so as we pick back up tonight, the lot of you have fought off the oncoming wave of these Kruthic. You destroyed the massive crustacean-like tentacled chul that joined them in their assault, and both ships took off back into space. So I think that as the camera opens, we see the Dragonfly, its insect-like wings hovering ever so fast that we can't see it as it cuts through the stars, trailed behind it by the much larger Rover. Jake, you were at the helm of the Rover, much more familiar to you due to your years as a smuggler and an actual water vessel on your homeworld. The Rover doesn't have a Spelljammer helm in the way that the Dragonfly does. Rather, there's a wheel up on the deck, and so you are piloting it in a much more traditional way. It comes much more naturally to you than the Dragonfly itself, while Lux drives the Dragonfly ahead. There are sending stones on both ships, the prisoners held below decks in force cages, along with a series of mephits. The Professor Reginald having run back to the Rover before the lot of you took off. I think we see Jake at the wheel, Professor standing behind him. Below deck, Yana and Asturias keeping an eye on the prisoners. Ahead in the Dragonfly, crowded in the cabin of the ship, Rhea, Doc, Lux, the three of you peer out of the windshield. And so I guess I say to all of you, amidst this chaos, separated on separate ships, moving through the stars without a clear destination in sight, what do you guys want to do?
We were deciding to land on a different asteroid,
You
right?
were. That was what was suggested. So is that kind of what you guys are going to do?
Yeah, I think Lux is like yelling into like a sending stone from... or yelling to somebody, to whoever has the sending stone, like, tell Jake that we're gonna land on that big one over there.
No, do a lap of the planet. Make sure there's no weird bugs on it first.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do a lap.
Do a lap.
Jake, I think that Yana having like shoved the sending stone into your hand is like, I'm gonna go back down below deck and make sure the prisoners are all right. Here, you should take this. And so I think you hear the voice of Lux like booming into your own mind. And then like the dragonfly begins to make a circuit around the asteroid. Lux, let's have you make a perception check.
I'm looking.
Sure.
I'm peeking out.
Sure,
I'm helping?
you as well. Oh, sure, with advantage, Lux.
I think, do I have advantage because it's space?
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Great.
So you both can make one, yeah.
What a very convenient favored terrain for you.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember picking it in the very beginning. Can I have space?
Way to leverage your ranger abilities.
Yeah.
All of space.
All of it.
I think both of you, keen-eyed, aware, senses on alert after the battle that you just fought. You scour the asteroid. You see no crevices, no holes, no tunnels, no signs that there's anything lurking here beyond your perception, and you feel pretty safe about landing the ship.
Looks clear. Let's
Yeah.
land them.
Great.
And so Jake, from behind, you hear the call of like into the sending stone that it looks clear. So a lot of you want to land both ships?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think the dragonfly landing lightly on its four metallic legs, kind of springing down a little bit as the wings slow and fold back into position. Jake, you like push down in on the big wheel on the deck of the rover, nosing it down, lowering it gently onto the asteroid field. Familiar sort of sensation, akin to the flatboats and the ships that you recall from your smuggling days back at home. And so a lot of you can land, both ships pretty easily on this large, sprawling asteroid as it hurtles along. In the distance around you, you see the smaller bits of debris passing by the central hub of what remains of the planet as it tears into its ever-enlarging kind of spiral pattern. And I think in the distance you see the pulsating kind of reddish pink light of the strange gate that you identified on the last asteroid before the lot of you took off. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? How do we regroup? Where do we regroup?
Be like on, like, some of us on one top of the ship and some of us on the other, and we'll just chat. Is it too far?
No, not at all. The Dragonfly is like very nimble and can land next to the rover easily, right? Like Lux could even like pick it up and move it around. So yeah, the lot of you coming up to the top deck of the ship, like Jake, Professor, you guys certainly would see Rhea coming up to the top deck.
So yeah, we were gonna rest and lure Akaman at full strength. So
Well, we did
oops,
rest, right?
We did. Yes.
did.
no, I know, but now we're not
Oh yeah, no, now
full strength.
Are you injured?
That was the point.
I'm
Well,
a little bit. Yeah.
Little too, yeah, and I used some of my magic, so
Yeah, I'm not like feeling great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we attempt to rest briefly and attempt to recover our vitality? And for some of us, we can recover some arcane ability.
like some of us, you mean you?
Yes, I do
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
me. Yes,
Yeah.
it has come to my attention that you do not benefit from such things. Jake, do you benefit from a brief rest in any way?
I enjoy the occasional nap, if that is what you mean. I always do wake feeling more refreshed and ready to take on the day. Naps are something that I enjoy.
That too. Yes.
Well, if Jake benefits from a short rest,
Yeah,
you could say I
let's-
benefit from a short rest. So, all right, let's short rest and
Yeah.
then
Well,
lure him here.
Professor, do you have any more like cheese or anything? I didn't have any breakfast.
Any more? What? Any more? Oh, any more cheese?
Oh, I
Oh.
gave it. Who did I give?
Goodness. Let me check. And I think he like looks in his pockets and he like doesn't find any more cheese. And he's like,
Who did I give it to? Who was that?
uh,
It was.
I think he gave it to
random.
a kid, or gosh, was it one of the guards?
I think it was like
Maybe.
yeah. Maybe even was it Zabar?
Was it
Moon-
the dog?
was
It
a
was
moon
the
Yeah,
dog.
it was
gave me the
Zabar.
dog.
Yeah.
Oh, my cheese to the dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I say. Troy says. Reginald obviously is perfectly fine with that. But I think,
Okay.
yeah, Reg is like, unfortunately, I had to dispose of the avian and aquatic meats from Huiroto. They seem to have gone bad after a while.
Yeah, no, that's nasty.
We should have people watch Cade and downstairs while we rest.
Yeah.
Because I believe Rin just went downstairs, so they should have things handled. And
Yana.
Yeah.
I apologize. They seem to refer to themselves as Rin from time to time.
They had
They do, yeah.
slips
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange thing. I generally choose to refer to people however they prefer, but when one refers to themselves with a separate name, it leaves me quite confused.
Yeah, we should clarify that sometime.
Yes. So Yana.
Mhm.
I think, yeah.
Okay. And Lux. Yeah, I would like to double check. Lux,
Yeah.
Locke, Rhea, Waffle, and Jake. Yes?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, that could have been very, very odd.
And you're Reginald.
No,
Professor.
Yes, yes.
Professor.
Jesus.
Professor
All
Reginald.
three?
One Professor
Reggie.
Frybot,
Reg.
Professor Reginald, all are preferred. However, I would not hold against you should you use a more familiar version of my name. It is just something that I've been conditioned against using myself.
Gotcha. Okay, Reggie.
Less formal,
Good.
yeah.
Yes.
Good.
My
Good.
father was not.
You know who we
fan
should
of
get to watch?
nicknames,
Cade.
so, get to
Who?
Sharp jumper. He's poison.
Oh,
So
yes.
Love
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he has
One of
clothes
them.
now. It's very convenient.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
close now.
So arrest.
Oh.
That sounds doable. In fact, it almost feels as if we're doing that now.
It sure does. It seems that way.
Chit chat.
Chatty.
Seems
Question
that way.
becomes, what then?
I kind of want to check out that portal.
I kind of do too.
What
First,
portal? What portal?
Yeah, that one over there. See? And Lux
Yeah.
like points to swirling red and purple portal in the
goodness.
distance.
I had not seen that. Did you create that?
Oh no! I felt it though yesterday, or not yesterday, like 20 minutes ago.
feels like a week.
Yes.
It feels like it's been many days. It's
God.
bizarre how that works.
The days are so long in space.
Do you think we should go check it out first?
Well, I mean, honestly, the longer that we give, see, that's the thing. The first things first, we should scry on Occam. If we get the notion that he knows what's happened, then we need to take care of that ASAP. But I mean, if we have a little wiggle room, wouldn't I would like to check out the portal.
Yes, I agree. We should know what Arkham is up to. We have already expended, 10 hours of time since when he believed to have captured Yana or whatever he was attempting to do.
Yeah.
So should we go too long without contacting, he would know something is amok.
Did he know?
I don't know.
Where's Cade? Cade.
Yeah, Cade. Where is he? Yana
Yeah.
was watching him, weren't they? Wasn't that what that was happening?
Cade was like not caged up, whereas the other two, Captain Westwind and Morris, had basically been gagged and bound and put into the forest cages. But so yeah, Cade I think is like with Yana. But if you start like calling for them, I think they would like probably like poke their head out from the cabin of the ship, right? This like blonde-haired shaggy guy in his fur cloak, his big axe missing, and he's just like, what?
Did you know exactly where we were, like when you came to chase us down?
No, they were much more arrogant than they seemed like. They really didn't know where you were at all.
We just happened to. They just found it. Well, actually, we found them. Right?
them. Yes.
Yeah.
We spotted you when you came up out of the field. Yes, we were scouring through here. We figured it was most likely that you would be here, but I don't know. Occam might have sent other people. He'd put word out.
Well, so you guys didn't
so then he's got to be
contact.
scrying all over the place if he wants to know what's going. What a micromanager! If he of a boss, he would be if he was scrying on it. Imagine your boss scryed on. Well,
That's what I've been trying to tell you this whole time.
I mean,
the guy's a real pain
not
in
for
the ass.
Very much
Wait.
possibility.
Kind of seems like the type of person that would do that.
Yeah, should we figure out
Who
if that's
does?
happening to us? Anyway.
Occam, but yeah.
Ah, yes.
Well,
But
no.
yeah,
What if
you
he
guys
sent other
hadn't-
ships? Yeah.
You guys hadn't like talked to him at all or anything. Like, what was
Yeah,
the
what's
last
the-
communication?
What's the
not my
rules? Like, what's the
thing.
check-in
It's
rules? Yeah.
them downstairs. Morris is his guy through and through. The
Talk
captain,
to that guy.
he says Westwind runs the crew and the ship. She's not taken any kind of jobs, like I said, for anyone else in decades, really. It's been a solid 15 years that she's been posted at the Aether Station, and Occam keeps her busy enough. The ship's outfitted well to gather things, if you didn't catch that from downstairs. But I'm not the contact. I'm here for muscle.
Yes.
I was supposed to be the swordman to
How's
push
that
down
working
on
out
you
for
all.
you?
Yes, terribly. We've established already, all right? My pride is quite thoroughly battered and destroyed.
I do not mean to pick at a festering wound.
You're also
It
alive
seemed
and
like
not
that's
tied
exactly what you meant.
So,
That's
Things
what
could be.
I'm trying to be helpful.
No, I do not mean to be a large fly in the ointment here. Simply having a moment. Speaking of which,
You don't put flies in the ointment. It's so good for the ointment. And on the Fearbolt planet, we put flies in the ointment all the time. And there's certain flies that it's better if you put flies in the ointment.
what kind of flies do you have on the Philbolg planet?
Just you know,
what kind of
well,
ointment?
dragonflies we do have, which I was surprised
put
when it was a
dragonflies in the ointment?
I get
And
that.
why?
I get that
Yeah.
joke.
because they're good for
No.
the properties are good for them.
What properties? Cleric.
The healing and rejuvenation of the skin.
I've
that
actually
sort of
heard
stuff.
they're a good bronchiodilator. I was asthmatic as a child.
Skin mask. My mother has great
Wait,
skin.
you have an
It's-
ointment for that?
Yeah, you didn't have to do that ever. I mean, my mom would rub it on my chest. It really helped me to breathe at
My
night
mom
when I
used to
was.
do that to me too when I
Jake,
got
Sometimes I
is
get
this a
very
thing that... have you ever had an ointment applied to your skin in any way? This is very unfamiliar to me.
Wait, like ever?
Kind of a personal question.
I would think it might get.
I was told I wouldn't have to disclose my rash when I joined this.
Oh,
But
I mean, I've actually.
Reginald, your
I mean,
skin, it does look
people-
dry. Like you could
Yeah.
get some of the, if we find any of the ointment.
Excuse
I
me.
think it
What?
must be very drying in space, actually, for the
Mhm.
turtle. I've got a moisturizer
The
inside.
bag.
My elbows
Both
get
of you,
very.
yeah, really.
Right.
My
out
skin is what? You...
What?
Pardon?
Come again?
Excuse me.
What did you say?
I didn't quite
Got-
hear you there.
Yeah, you
Some
have to.
avocados in the cabin. Actually, I've seen Captain Westwind rub the avocado. They said
Yeah.
it was a deep exfoliator.
I would kill for an avocado at this moment.
I'll get you
cannot
one.
Wasting
explain
if that'll-
avocados and putting it on their face?
That's right.
where
We
are
live,
there
in, we live in
avocados?
abundance. At the Aether Station, we trade in
Of course,
avocados.
Must there
Awesome has avocados. Gross.
Screw
Love
the
them.
portal. I would like an avocado.
I'll get the avocados. I think
Maybe
No,
we
I'm-
should go to
I'm
him
being-
and
I'm
steal
being a
all
bit
of his
much. I apologize, but
avocados.
I'm currently processing the possible need of a skincare routine, which is not something I had considered when signing up
Yeah.
for this.
Mhm.
But if we want to inspect the portal, we certainly can. Jake, there was a conversation when
Right,
you were
right,
not
right.
around about the possibility of pretending to be the crew of the rover and luring Occam in.
Because he can
There's
like
something we
teleport here, like
Could do, but yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Cade
we have
comes
2
back
changelings
out,
yeah.
and he's got like this armful of avocados, and he like hands an avocado to you, Professor. He hands an avocado to you, Lux. He like, you guys, you're on the other ship, Lux. I think he tosses one over, like avocados.
Avocado.
Good
Ding.
gracious.
Yeah, he throws one at Doc. The little, I don't know. I mean,
It doesn't eat. No, it's
okay. Big lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recommend against. Yeah.
And I think you. Yeah.
What else are you hiding from us? What other sorts of goods and delicacies does one have?
I just think we never looked in the pantry, in the storage downstairs. Yeah.
Some rum down there, ramen.
Rum?
This chicken noodle.
Did you say ramen?
What? Chicken noodle.
Yeah, I mean, of course, with ramen in space. It's a
that
staple.
sounds like a good soup.
Yeah. Good soup.
It does sound like
I think Lux yells down, Ben, have you ever had an avocado?
Yes, I have.
Well, come on. Go try one.
If you're concerned there's goods hidden aboard that we've missed, I'm pretty decent at ferreting those out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to have a look, I can show you around.
Is this all happening while we're resting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like
Light
I imagine all you guys on
Avocado.
chaise
Yeah,
lounges on the deck of the ship, like basking in the radiant red light of the portal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, can I roll some hit dice?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
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 I've only
You
got
guys
a
could
couple
roll
left.
hit
This is
dice,
great.
recover short rest things.
Think. Cool. Oh, and I get to take portal back.
Jake, you want to do a walkabout of the ship to see if there's anything hidden in here?
I don't need to. I'm good.
Is everybody at full health?
Oh, you didn't long rest when we long.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
we all
I
have all our
didn't.
stuff back. Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, that's such a waste. I was like, I'm not gonna roll. I'm at 46 out of 47.
That's
I'm not gonna
what I
roll.
just
It'll be a waste. And I got an 11.
did.
It's fine.
How did we do in terms of repairing the ship
Mhm.
during the course of the night?
It went great, and then it got destroyed again.
Yeah.
Oh, how much again? Sorry if you said this already. How bad are we looking ship-wise?
I don't know.
Is it?
You had repaired all the damage. It didn't get like damaged again badly. Like the Kruthiks had climbed up around the edges of it. The Chul like battered the top of it a bit. Like really, most of the actual structural damage has been repaired. I think like some railing is like smashed up on top. There's like some scuffing on the windshields of the cockpit and stuff. But like structurally, you're back in good shape.
Okay. It has character.
Yeah, she does.
Okay, so we'll scry on Occam.
Mhm.
Should we go? Actually, I was thinking, should we go interrogate one of them downstairs? Should we go see what the communication plan is?
I know we have to talk to that Morris person, but gosh, I really
Yeah.
don't want to.
No.
Yeah, I am afraid you'll punch him.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
still-
love to go talk to him then. That would be very
We do not know
Well-
what he is capable of.
Exactly. I'm worried about the magic.
I think we
'cause
need
that
to
was pretty
keep him
bad.
his hands tied up,
Yeah.
and the moment it looks like he's gonna, you know, actually, if he's gonna start speaking, then you just punch. You just hold the punch
Ooh,
there.
Yeah.
Wait, but doesn't
And
he
then
have
you-
to like answer our questions?
That's the problem.
Yes, but if it seems like he's trying to say a spell, cast, don't we, you know,
I mean, I guess.
if we say, how long, you know, do you need to check in, and he starts saying abracadabra, you just punch him.
Well, and
Is that how-
and
is that
somebody
how
can
it
hold
works?
the hold
I
the
don't
like
cast
spells,
gag,
your
right?
spells, but
Ready
Isn't
to
that your
look
verbal-
or an avocado. We can shove an avocado in his mouth.
I mean, I wouldn't. There's not that many avocados. I'm not. It seems like you guys were really excited. I don't know if you want to.
Oh no,
Waste
I
them
don't want
that
to. I'm
frivolously.
mostly just using it as an example of like just a gag. To just
Honestly, he
safer?
does
What's
hate
safer, to let him
avocados.
speak?
So
or to let him write, because we could gag him and then let
I
him
mean,
write, or we
both
could.
the.
I've got some. I mean, he's telepathic. I don't know. If
Oh, that's
yeah, it's really fucked up, man. He's a couple of times he started just like he's in my head, and I was the first few times like made me very uncomfortable. So I mean, he might try to hold out, but yeah.
If I
you
may,
guys could- yeah.
we already know that Morris, was that his name?
Morris.
Mor-
I called him
Mo-
Maurice. He didn't like
Maurice.
that. Some people
the
call
crazy
him
old
Maurice.
Maurice is some sort of sycophant supporting Arkham. I think the
Oh, yeah.
possibility of us getting useful information, especially at this hour, is quite low. And I presume if this portal, as you say, is some sort of... I believe that is a greater risk to us than anything else, to not know what it is.
I wonder if maybe one of us could pretend to be Occam. And, be pretty upset at Morris. They suffered a defeat. Somehow we can, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But maybe there's something.
No. I like what you're doing.
So we would have Cade maybe go down with the stone, and then you'd be Occam through the stone?
Ooh.
Or perhaps you just misty step into the cell as if you had arrived, and then express your disappointment, and then pretend to break him out, and then hopefully he reveals something. What do we need to know that we don't already know? We know what. Well,
That's
we don't
true.
know what Arkham is.
No,
Well,
we
just
need to know.
scry, really.
We need to
We
scry.
just need to scry. We don't really need to. we don't
Okay,
really
let's just
necessarily
scry.
need to interrogate this.
Okay, let's go to the dragon. Well, we're all a bunch of us are in the Dragonfly.
Yeah.
Let's go to this.
To the helm.
orb.
Or the thing. The thing.
Now, last time we
like that.
scried, we had Yana scry. It needs to be.
Because he knew him
That's right.
more than us. He knew him more
Reginald
than us.
still doesn't, so he will not offer to scry. Which is anyone else? Does anyone else besides Yana?
We met him. We met
Yeah.
him. We in the same room as him,
Mhm.
but we don't. I don't know if we know him. So, Liana was interacted with him on multiple times.
For Yanni's
So-
familiar, yeah. Yep.
So it depends on if you let us, or if we're able to use Yana through the,
Sure.
or whether it has to be one of us. It's,
Sure.
you know,
I'll give it to you. I
indeed.
think that Yana could be sure, yeah, I'll take a crack at it.
Great.
Not sure if somebody wants to watch these cages. You there, Sharp Jumper. And Sharp Jumper with his new gloves is like, yeah, these gloves are great. I'll keep an eye on everyone.
Yeah, just, yell if something happens, right?
Oh, yeah. Real loud.
Yeah, please don't, get hurt. Please.
No, I'm going to try not to.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And so Yana makes her way over to the Dragonfly. I don't know who is going to pile in to the helm as you guys circle around the crystal ball mounted on this pedestal next to the Spelljammer helm. And Yana begins to focus their mind onto the distant form of Occam. Let's see. Okay.
Troy, it looks like you're adding dish soap to your beverage.
Oh, what's going on there? With a -5 to his saving throw.
Oh.
Occam will roll.
Yeah, it's a squeeze bottle, and I decided I'd rather drink out of a cup with a straw, so that's what
Gotcha.
I'm doing.
Okay.
But yes, I recognized it looked like I was pouring a new, I don't know, it's like something
It
out
just
of cocktail.
specifically looked like dish soap, and I was like, I know it's
Yeah.
probably not
I
that.
know.
But...
It's an overly used smart water bottle.
Yana's spell save DC is 14, and with a -5 to their roll, Occam has rolled a 14. I think they...
Dungeon
Yeah.
Master, can I ask a question?
Sure.
On our crystal ball description, it says save DC 17.
Oh, that's a
baby.
nightmarishly powerful scrying orb that I gave
Too
you.
much.
Who even did that? What a fool. I think
Should I talk to the guy who gave it to us?
Yes, I think Fog mires in the crystal ball for a moment and begins to coalesce into the tall, handsome shape of Occam. his black hair kind of like tied up in a small bun at the back of his head. He wears this blue silken robe. And this is a really interesting thing. Okay, yeah, I think that you see him, and he's sitting on like sedan chair, upholstered with this kind of golden silk, and I think that he's eating grapes out of a bowl, just like, when do we expect them to arrive? And I think that you hear like a second voice, like, they have sent delegates soon, my lord. They will be here within the 10-day, I imagine. We could send them out to scour the other places if the rover is unsuccessful. And I think that Occam is just like, I have a feeling that they're out there somewhere. I will have them back. They're very important to the nature of things. But I feel my attention is very divided. I may have to take extraordinary measures to ensure all avenues are pursued to their fullest. And I think that you hear the second voice like, very well, my lord, whatever it is that you think, but the Black Blades Band, they are highly effective, and by my understanding, they expressed great interest in pursuing these particular trespassers. And I think that Occam replies like, good. Well, if the rover fails, then at least we have recourse. I have decided I will take their ship, too. Their propulsion systems are unique, built in the old ways. I imagine they do not even know fully how to use them themselves, or they would have jumped by now. Nevertheless, they will pay for their mistakes. And I think that you hear like, yes, my lord. Is there anything else I can attend to? And I think he's like, see that the wormling is fed. Make sure that the containers downstairs are all safe. And double the duty on the avocado movements. I want bathtubs of avocados when the Black Blades Band arrives. You know how those gifts like their skin treatment. Yes, my lord. And I think, like, with that, like, the rest of the 10 minutes of scrying is Occam, like, very slowly and kind of disgustingly eating grapes.
Huh.
And at the very last second, 30 seconds left, I think you see him, like, place the bowl down. And he walks over to a door, which he opens. And we see kind of, like, steam, mist, fog rolling out of it. And as it kind of clears out of the way, there is this big pile of what looks like shaved ice, snow, frosted something. And Occam begins kind of like leaning into it and like, places his hands down into it. And then the vision fades away.
Can I ask, did the vision fade away when we believed that it would be necessary, or as a result of him like putting his hands
at the end of the duration? I think you get 10 minutes worth of scrying, and I think like you catch part of this conversation, you see him eat for a bit, and as the 10 minutes is winding out, Occam begins like mucking around in this like snow ice in his closet.
Got it.
Fades.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was so much information.
Jump?
Yes.
Do we know what that is?
Jump. I gotta
Might as well jump.
I gotta figure it out.
I Doc, do we know what that is?
Yeah, we would have jumped by now.
I think
Rich,
Red
do I have
Flag-
any idea what that could be referring to?
make a history wouldn't be appropriate. Let's have you make a Tinker's Tools check with your wisdom.
Interesting.
Reg would like look down at like his ring of jumping and just like ponder for a moment.
We've jumped so many times. He doesn't even know how much we've jumped.
That's 17.
Nice.
17. You are you're not sure offhand, or like you would know, right? Like Doc knows what she knows, which is a great deal. But you do think to the first days after you all had left, and the fact that the orb, which was provided to you by your patron Yavanna, not Yana, though deeply similar, had like full schematics for the ship inside of it that like Yana had made clear to you specifically as sort of So you think like there might be accessible information there. Otherwise, you're not 100% sure.
Okay.
Huh. Also, a wormling? Did you guys hear that one?
The worm. What's that?
I don't know, but it doesn't sound very good. Feed the wormling?
A wormling
I
is
hate that.
a sort of goodness. How does one describe a young serpentine creature?
Ew.
Yes, they're quite useful in various combats and invasions. Goodness, there was one. When was that? I do not remember the year. But yes, there was a very successful invasion of a planet not far from mine, with a series of wormlings it is something, especially in large numbers, that can strike fear in the heart of a populace that is unprepared for it.
Great. That's wonderful.
Cool.
Also, the Black
Okay.
Blades. We knew that they kind of wanted to.
That's the mercenary group. That
Yeah.
That's who we fought in the
Stop.
bar.
Yeah,
right?
they kind of wanted.
Okay,
they kind of wanted to
great.
kill us. So that makes sense.
Well,
Um,
But good news. Not exactly looking for us, or
Yeah.
he just and he just said if they fail, and
so it doesn't seem like he
Little
knows
does
what's
he know.
going on.
There is the possibility, of course, that their ship, the rover, without encountering us through any possible other means, could have done what we almost did, which is go straight into the asteroids and die. Right? It doesn't appear as though Occam is expecting them to return immediately. So perhaps we have a bit more time than I had thought.
Also, what was with that ice stuff?
Yeah,
That
I
seems
don't. That was weird. That was weird. Those were super.
maybe it burned his hands. You put it on ice.
I mean, we
who
were
just has like a
watching it,
closet
though.
full of ice?
Yeah,
Who has a plant that can talk and produce rubies?
yeah. Look
Oh.
at everyone on this.
Who
Who has anything?
About
you know?
me? I think the plant like
We take it out of the pot. Oh no, we fed it.
Yeah,
did we not feed it? Didn't we
Oh
bring
yeah,
it?
like feed
Oh,
it.
yes.
The idea was definitely to feed it from
The
the
blood.
blood bugs.
is so good.
Stop saying that.
Cool.
Stop.
My phylum are expanding by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Jake, I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to this plant yet, but it feeds off of like blood and gore and
Yeah,
flesh.
it
You
grows
all act so
rubies.
shocked.
Its name is Seed.
Yeah, its
And-
name is Seed.
I've been just trying to block that.
Yeah, that's really your best option.
Yeah.
It's
I
deeply
don't
unsettling.
understand. Are you meat people all vegetarians?
It's just weird. What? It's just weird. It's just strange. Okay,
It's worse coming from a plant.
Yeah, and we really
It's-
got to
it's-
figure out if there's some sort of nutritional
Would it be
replacement we can
better if
figure
I
out.
were a cannibal?
Seed, are you purposely whispering? I think it's the whispering.
Yeah, the whisper
Yeah,
makes
it's-
it worse. too.
Have you
Could
ever
you be
tried?
like loud? Yeah, like
Oh,
just-
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Would it be better if I use my speaking voice or?
yeah. Now say the stuff about blood.
DM, your
No, I mean,
choice
it
of
would-
voices is stupid.
It was very jarring when I like used to speak to people before. I was put in a talking pot once a long time ago, and
Yeah.
everybody got very upset. So I'm sorry. I usually whisper, and it seems better received.
No, I think that when you ask for blood and bones and you whisper it, it sounds so much like
It's
All right. I'll be honest. I knew that was going to happen. That was just a little bit of a plant joke I was pulling on you guys. It's really, I mean, you guys get so worked up. All the nerve endings, your hair stands up. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jake, we're gonna need like a constant supply of blood and bone for the plant in the inventory.
Yeah.
What happens if we don't?
I
I think he just withers and dies, you know?
But it grows
Okay.
babies. And I saved it from Occam's
It's a
creepy museum.
It's a plant.
it doesn't it do you produce rubies?
Yeah, it grows.
Yeah,
It
once
does.
a year.
Also,
Yeah.
I have a question. So you're normally in the ground, right? How
Yeah.
do you get blood and
Were you
guts
like planted
and
in like a
bone
battlefield or something?
normally?
Like by us,
It's really
You know.
tough because I'm a plant, so I don't have a great conception of where I come
That's
from. My
fair.
roots only go so deep, and I
Right,
would
but you are like
imagine.
a rooted plant, so it's not like you can you're not a hunting
What
plant. I don't.
What did
It
Occam
is
feed?
important to
Did-
know
Seems
one's
like
roots.
things we would have.
Did
Ray gets a little bit emotional at that the plant. I only have my
Seems
roots
like
only go so deep.
should have-
It's for some reason.
no.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
No. Oh my gosh.
These seem like questions we should have determined before we
Well,
brought it
the
on
thing
board.
is, we were kind of running out of the place. This
It was all very. We were
Yeah.
being.
Well, you were
attacked. It
very
was-
excited to take me
Seed,
with
were
you,
you being oppressed before?
though. I mean, most
Yeah.
definitely. I was locked in a glass
cage.
cage.
terrible
Yeah.
for plants.
This is great. At least the little frog person, he talks to me all the time.
That's good. Yeah.
Jake, with all due respect to the others currently over on the rover, at that time,
Before you say anything, this better be with absolute respect. All due, like, it better actually be. Sometimes people say things and then they don't actually have all due respect. So just make sure it has all due respect.
yes, I do believe, with all due
Yeah,
respect,
no, it's great. Yeah.
there was not a screening process when people were brought aboard the ship.
No.
Mm.
I buy that with people.
Was that respectful enough? Rhea?
No, it was great. That
Yeah.
was good.
I
Very
thought that was
respectful.
all the respect
It just
that
sort
was
of
due in the
Feel like you're
situation.
implying that there should have been some sort of screening process. That
No.
maybe if you had been involved in some sort of screening, not all of us would
Two
be
of
here.
them were being oppressed, and so was the other. All three of them were being oppressed.
Have
And it-
I, in any way in this conversation, implied or stated that they are not to be aboard the ship? I simply stated that there was no process.
Can I just ask, do you feel like you're being oppressed right now by
A
your
bit.
crewmates? Or? Right, well, I mean, I thought I could pick that up. It was
Not
Yeah,
really.
okay.
No, I'm
This,
just.
this plant voice is really confusing,
What?
actually.
Now that it's not
very
yeah, could you actually
confusing,
whisper
right?
again?
There we go.
What I'm
a lot better.
What
I really
I'm
want
trying
to eat
to
this
say
avocado,
is that
but I do not
I'm
have
the
it.
screening process, and that should be enough for everybody on this vessel.
Are we on some sort of timeline?
Most definitely.
No. No.
It doesn't seem like he's concerned, but I think at any moment he could come.
Yeah.
but-
So
I'm gonna go back to the rover and just follow the ship if you guys take
all
off.
right,
Well-
I think are we gonna go to the portal or are we gonna summon Occam? What do we
yeah,
want to do?
that's the decision that we need to make right now.
I believe, following the sky, that the portal is the biggest unknown.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Also, I get the sense that that is what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
The others, Jake, portal.
What? If that's where the big ship heads, the small ship
Well,
will
you're the
follow.
big ship, actually.
You are the big ship.
Oh,
The rover's much
Yeah,
bigger.
the
than
rover is
Dragonfly.
huge.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like a dinghy.
Like a little tugboat.
Yeah. Oh, where the small ship goes, the big ship will follow.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess that too. Do we want to bring both ships over there? I guess we should, right? I guess we shouldn't probably just leave the other one behind.
Stick together.
Yeah.
Stick together.
Yeah,
Do
no.
not split the group.
Yep. Once I
Does the
said
portal
it,
look
I
big
went
enough that we could like
back.
fly through the portal?
Hard to say from here. You don't know. You're gonna have to like close in to like get a gauge on what you're even looking at.
Let's do this, baby.
Perhaps I should go over with Jake to the other ship, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable to have our members outnumbered,
Mhm.
even though they are trapped, and the only key to get into the cell, yes, is with Lux.
So you think?
Okay, and Reginald, I think, would like head on over to the rover before we depart and head toward the portal
Okay.
with Jake.
So Jake
Wait,
and
the
Reginald.
plant just whispers, so you think?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
What do you know?
did. It's a-
Honestly, nothing. But I mean, it just seems convenient.
Right. Okay. So you're just
Just
over here
try and
whispering ominous
Keep you on
things.
your toes. I mean, you guys are my best chance here. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think
Do
for
you
the
know our
group.
names? Do you know our names? Do you know our? Oh my gosh.
Those are separate questions.
Do you know our names?
Not really.
Well, I'm Lux, and I'm the one who saved you.
I've got to be honest with you, Lux. I've got a bit of face blindness, but okay.
Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. Well, just hang on tight. Don't hop out of your pot or nothing, because we're gonna be sailing on.
Feels a little insensitive, but okay.
Oh,
No, that's a common saying. Don't jump out of your pot.
Yeah.
It wasn't just. Yeah.
Yeah. I
My
say it to
mistake.
Ray all the time. Don't jump out of your pot.
Yeah, don't jump out of your pot.
Sorry about that, Lux.
no,
My mistake.
it's okay.
Learning every day.
Mhm.
Yeah. We see like Jake and Reginald striding up onto the deck of the rover, and I think Cade is like sitting there eating an avocado. He like throws the empty shell off. I think he's got some avocado like rubbed into his face, and he's like, so, you guys have a plan?
Following the small
All right,
ship.
that's great. I'm not sure what your story is, Mr. Turtle, but the rest of your friends here, they did beat the hell out of me. I tried to surrender. I was hoping to take this ship at some point and to crew it up. So if you're looking to maybe branch off and go a separate way, roving and raiding, maybe you're always, you seem like a hell of a helmsman. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Just trying to
Cade's
be
made a
helpful.
mortal enemy out of somebody.
Ray would not be happy.
And I think-
Actually, well, if Jake joins the rover,
Oh, there
Ray
goes
probably joins
Raya.
the rover.
I think we see the Dragonfly rise up off the asteroid. Jake, you like power up the ship. You're at like this big wheel up at like kind of the prow of it on the deck, and you begin like pulling back on it. The ship rising up, flames kind of like firing out of the back of it. It's got a fire elemental like bound into its propulsion systems, a sailless vessel as it were, except for these kind of wings on the edges. And so the pair of you begin carving down. Lux, you can easily feel the portal pulling at the edges of your senses, and you kind of weaving around the large asteroids, taking this circuitous route as you approach. And I think you come down around, and a lot of you realize the portal itself is not like free in space. It is emanating off of like this huge asteroid, probably 8 times the size of the one that you landed on to repair the ship. This big, like, vast island of itself. And I think you see the like reddish light of this like twisting kind of like gateway, and Doc and Rhea with you in the cockpit. Lux, as you are like in the Spelljammer helm, and it's probably worth noting here, as you pilot the Dragonfly, your senses like shift into that of like the ship's itself. You don't have a manual control system. You are literally like you are linking with the ship in a very like a primal sort sort of way, right? And so Lux, like, you have this sensation as you're like weaving and kind of like twisting, driving down in towards it, but you could see everything before you. There are glints of silver around the edges of it. You realize the portal is emanating from this massive kind of archway, definitely large enough to fly the Dragonfly through, probably large enough to take the rover through behind. And you see the glinting of chrome in the distance. Steel and metal. You see conduits and cables. You see machinery and equipment. And I think as the asteroid is kind of rolling itself in a separate direction as you approach, the portal like shifts out of view. The equipment and everything, you're looking at the underside of the asteroid, and you could see the kind of reddish light emanating from around, and it begins to like dim and unfold. And Lux, as you sort of pilot the opposite way around of this rotating asteroid, coming back around over this area where you see all this machinery and equipment, you note that it is no longer glowing, but you could see arrayed beneath you on the surface, amidst the kind of thin dust and debris of the other asteroids kind of breaking and falling around you. This big series of kind of mechanical structures of like arcanotech, however you would want to describe it. Doc, even from a distance, like it strikes a chord in you as you're looking at like how complex and sophisticated everything down there seems. Yeah. And then you could see that it leads into this massive kind of opening into the stone itself. Secondary kind of mechanical components jutting up, almost like the mouth of a cave that has these like mechanisms built around the edges of it. This threshold of constructed machines and arcane devices around it. What would you guys like to do? And I think Reggie and the professor, you guys from the deck of the rover behind, are able to make this out as well.
Can Lux like talk as she's like in the spell?
Yeah.
Spell jam?
Yeah. Yep. You can. Yep.
Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah, it's real cool. I would like to go check it out.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm gonna take us in.
Cool. Well,
I think Lux like tries to pilot like and get as close as she can.
Okay.
And I think Reginald in the back of the ship says, "Are you guys seeing this? Because I cannot. I do not. I am having a tough time seeing around the ship and don't have a very good vantage point." Jake, what is it? What do you see?
I'm just kind of pinpoint focused on not losing the dragon.
Yes.
I've got blinders on right now.
Is Lux piloting again?
I assume so. Just the...
She does believe that the entire cosmos is her lane, in a way.
So true.
With Lux.
Look, she didn't even signal again.
Evasive maneuver.
Lux in one line.
Yeah. You manage to land the Dragonfly. You can't get in like super close to like all this mechanisms. You're about like 75, 100 feet away from it, right? There's all this kind of like rubble and like debris. It's sort of like lowered down in. It looks like almost the whole entrance into this cave is almost pitched downwards, like you're aiming towards like the center and the interior of the asteroid itself. Jake, you're able to like easily bring the rover down, landing next to it. Yana is just like, well, all right, those prisoners there, they've woken up, but they're all still gagged and bound quite well. And this Cade fellow, after we discovered the avocado store, he seems a lot more agreeable. So I'll stay here and keep an eye on everything. A lot of you can explore that. It seems very mechanical. Not my thing, really.
Once we like get close, can Lux like can she cast a spell?
Sure, yeah, you land, you've like unhooked from the actual helm itself. Like, yeah, this is still like while you're on the Dragonfly before you disembark. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think Lux is going to do her primeval awareness. And I think because I don't know because we're in space, within 6 miles, aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
Wow. You sense elementals very close.
Mm-hmm. The fire elemental in the back of the ship.
Yeah, and the methods.
And the other ones on the
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You sense aberrations some miles away and close by. Around the area of the entrance to the cave.
Okay.
Right? I'm double checking your specificity, right? Present.
It's not very specific.
Oh, okay, then I'm being very specific.
Yeah, you're fine.
You sense
You're
aberrations.
Fine.
You sense the elementals. You don't sense dragons. Okay. You don't sense celestials. You don't sense fae. You sense fiends. You don't sense undead.
Okay.
That's a list.
Thank you.
Lux, you look like you've seen a ghost. But not a ghost. I've seen you see a ghost before and you aged 20 years, so not like that, but
yeah, I think Lux is like already like white eyes, changeling eyes, like just go like completely like glazed over for a second.
Wow.
There's some stuff around that portal.
Stuff?
Yeah.
I'm not there, sorry.
No problem. You guys can all...
I was just quoting Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada. I apologize. I deeply apologize.
You guys can all like disembark as you see fit.
Yeah, we'll disembark. We'll all meet up.
I will.
Let's open the back.
Yeah. I'll do a thing before we disembark, but when Rich gets back. But yeah, I think that Reg and Jake will like meet up with everyone.
Okay.
And say, well, what now?
Yeah.
Quite the sight.
So we need to be careful. Around that portal, it looks like might be some aberrations of some kind, which I've studied quite a bit. So we should be on our guard, I think. But
very well.
I would really like to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. If we could flash back to before we left the ship, I think Reginald would briefly walk up to Yana and just say, just whisper to Yana, like, go with me on this, please. And then wait for a moment where Cade, like, where basically kind of bring in Cade or connect the two of them, hand Yana the other sending stone, and say, if anything should go amiss, immediately contact us. Also, just so that no one gets any bright ideas, I would like to imbue you with much of my arcane power. And I think he says this like very loudly, and then says, just stay still, and then you will have the ability to unleash the spells that I can as well.
Oh, right. That's great. Just like that one time.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let's do that again.
And
yeah.
the time before, you of course remember the time.
Oh, I remember the first time. Yeah.
Yes. And he pulls
Accent's
out his
getting away
wheel,
from me
starts
now,
like
so
turning
hurry up.
it,
Yeah.
and then like it glows, and he like
Better.
paints an aura over Yana, and then like shoots off some lightning lures like all around. In
Go ahead and make a deception check with advantage. As you're doing like this great arcane display.
I was like racking my brain. I was like, is this a thing? Like, did I just forget that Rich can do this?
You may have successfully just made your
Total
deception
BS.
check against a fellow player in the group. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
But to whatever degree it might be also intimidating, you could add 7 onto that. But it's primarily deceptive.
I mean,
Anyway,
I'd be intimidated.
I do think Reg should turn back to Cade and say, "This is not the day to fuck with them," and then move forward.
I think he's just like, all right, man.
I feel like I'm going in heavy on Cade, but you know,
Yeah. Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do.
we're leaving.
Do
we're
we
leaving
do we lock him up before we go?
No, he's not locked up yet, but
No, but
like,
I'm-
Lux did take his big
He's with
axe.
Yana and Sharp Jumper.
Yeah.
Right,
Sharp
but-
Jumper, Yana, and the Badman are all watching that ship. Old Ben on the Dragonfly with Whisper the plant. With Seed. With Seed the plant.
But do we lock up Cade before we go? Is what I'm suggesting that we do.
I think this is you guys like out on the ground. Like, wait, did you lock up Cade?
Did you turn the stove off?
And I think you see him
Yeah.
on the deck of the ship wave, you know, like.
Look, I do not trust Cade. However, if we continue to lock up someone that has shown themselves, at least thus far, willing to assist, are we any better than Arkham himself?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yet? What?
Like
No.
temporarily? Okay, fine.
I mean, we slept with him like
I'm sorry, why?
What?
Three-
Had like a back and forth,
Me.
like, you know, but you know.
Tell me more.
We.
What do you
As
mean
I said,
we?
The we.
Wait,
is
look.
like part of the whole thing.
Like I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at everybody out. Like, what do you mean we? Looking around.
Jake with the popcorn.
I'm sorry, Taylor.
Sorry, Taylor. Yeah, if it's like
That was too
you can
good.
discard that if you want.
Yeah, you sure can. I'm sorry. It was
Totally
right-
excardable
it was right
for us.
there.
When you slept with Cade.
Whew.
Let's go. Let's go.
So you trust him? Okay, that's fine.
Great.
Bye, Cade.
We trust
See you later.
It's like, wait.
Oh my god.
So the 5 of you, Waffle covering at dockside, have all disembarked, and you make your way away from the pair of the parked ships.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Lux said that there were like things around that we can't see.
She did say that. She said she sensed some aberration somewhere nearby.
Okay. I'm gonna
Jake,
touch Lux kind of on the shoulder and be like, I don't know if this is gonna help, but maybe it'll help. And I'm gonna cast See Invisibility on Lux.
Ooh. 1 hour. There you go. Nice.
Yeah. It's not concentration. Just
Bye.
Jake is going to search for signs of oozes,
yeah.
because that's all he knows.
We love an
Jake.
ooze.
Always looking for the ooze out there. Why don't you make a investigation check with advantage?
Because I was hoping to make a survival
do
check
that?
with
Why don't you
advantage
do
based
that?
on favored enemy
Yep.
ooze
Make a
and tracking them.
survival check with advantage.
23.
23. That is quite a roll. So as you are approaching, as you're approaching all the like mechanisms and the equipment here, I think that you in fact see
Now, this isn't where just because I looked for it, you have to put one there. I'm just saying. I'm just
I
letting
know.
you know.
I'm just double checking
it was
my
more,
notes. Yeah, as you're like searching around, I think that you see a like viscous kind of like dried like glaze almost on like some of the equipment, like the
is it ice?
it is not ice. And I think that you're able to like pretty easily identify that it is not from one of the traditional oozes, but it's the like kind of sliminess that you find on some aberrations. Yeah.
Not ooze. Thought I found something, but it's not ooze. We're good. It's just a slimy substance.
Ah, well, that person doesn't have dry skin.
No.
Yeah.
Did we bring the ointment?
Would Lux recognize if it is from an aberration? Because those are her favorite enemies.
Make a survival check with advantage. Make it,
So
yeah,
much
make a
fun
survival
having
check.
multiple rangers.
I know, I love
Yeah.
the like ranger
I
team.
love it. 18.
Yes. You very quickly, like scoping it out. I think that you're like, oh no, and you start like looking around at all the rock formations nearby as you guys are like looking at this pillar over here. I'm just gonna move everybody up a little bit. It looks like the residue of a roper, which are like very large aberrations often found in like subterranean places, cave systems, stuff like this. They're able to kind of like masquerade as stalagmites and such. They easily kind of conceal themselves.
A ropa is what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does it use rope?
Have we dealt with ropers, or am I mixing?
You guys have not dealt with ropers in this game. Nope.
I'm thinking of the ones that like, what are the ones that, like swoop like down and like eat you?
Cloakers.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Cloakers and ropers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're just
Cloakers
terrible.
and ropers and chokers. Oh my! What did we call those things? Yeah.
They disguise themselves as like rock formations and little stalactites and stuff. So keep your eyes
So I
peeled.
shall be of utmost awareness and perceptiveness. I think he just kind of adjusts his little pince nez at the end of his snout, and then like tucks his shirt, or it's like tucks his vest, and then just kind of like gazes left and right very poorly.
As you're looking around at everything, you see on the ground these very sophisticated kind of metal mechanisms, all manner of kind of brass and copper inlaid into them. There are sections that are like glass, where behind them you see the like clockwork movement of what look like gears and like levers flipping and like switching and clicking. One of these towers is like smashed over near where you stand now. Some rubble kind of like burying some of like the metal here on the floor, but it seems pretty clear as you're like examining like all of the structure. Like these things are built using like ancient technology, right? Certainly you, Doc, would be able to identify that. And you see this great series of kind of mechanisms, gears like coming up, attached to some of them, like little like kind of port view windows against some of the superstructure leading into this cave, that you realize now that you're like approaching from here, there is in fact a whole like kind of metal walkway slash like almost railing leading in, and the whole floor leading down into the cave itself is also like this like, you know, shining kind of chrome metal.
Do I know anything about like what the purpose of this kind of place would be? Like how it got here? What?
Great question. Why don't you make a history check?
I think meanwhile, Reginald is definitely looking for any sort of like markings, insignia, letters that would replace this with some sort of civilization.
Awesome. Reginald, why don't you make an investigation check? Doc, as you're like reflecting on your studies and the kind of manuscripts you've seen of the past, what you know about like this type of work, I think you're pretty clearly able to like put the pieces together that this seems to be like superstructure used to power the opening of transdimensional portals. This is like a great mechanism that could be used if operated by somebody with the knowledge how and in proper working order to open portals to the far planes with specificity. And the like size of all of this and the structure on the ground such that it could be used to move ships or great like amounts of cargo through said portals.
And does it seem like it's in like good working order? And this, so sorry, there's like there's all of this mechanical area, and then there's like a portal in front of us still, or it's that we haven't gone through the portal yet, right?
There is no portal open. Like nothing is
Okay.
actually like open right now, in other words, but it looks like it is working, though not in good working order, if that makes sense, right? Like you get the idea that like a lot of it is still functional, but it is badly damaged. However, it should be working, it's not working correctly. And the portal was just open like moments ago. It's like what lured you here, but it seems to have like closed. Like why or why not, hard to say. But you get the impression that like it is still functional enough that like a portal was just open to where, who knows why it closed, who knows. Reginald, as you are examining, peering around, looking for identifiable notifications and insignias, I think that you find sigils and markations denoting. I'm sorry, I'm looking at
All
my
good.
notes.
I just was going to observe that Reginald, based on Lux's advice, was keeping his eyes peeled for ropers, having no clue what they are. But then immediately it's like, whoop, and is just now looking at like
Yep.
he's trying to place this in some sort of civilization.
I think that you see denotations and marking sigils, branding the mark of the library. And
As in like the library that was in the center of the Decidium Spiral.
yes, sir.
Okay.
And I think that you also note like stamps of approval from the hold on one second. I'm double checking myself.
That's fine.
Right. I think that you also note like stamps on some of the like these big kind of metal towers that are rising up around you on like specific pieces that is just like a capital H with the small letter X next to it.
H with a small letter X. Have I seen that anywhere before?
Make a separate history check here. With the
Could Lux help with
yeah,
this?
sure, with advantage, sure.
Yes.
Lux would be curious
And
about it.
we know by this point that many of the asteroids in the spiral were once pieces of
the planet
the
proper.
planet. So it wouldn't be unreasonable to assume that either that the most likely scenario is that this used to be part of the planet and remains intact on this asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. 100%.
27.
With the 27, you're immediately able to identify that this is from the Institution of Space Travel, and that these stamps indicate that these are in fact designs that were developed by Hux, the original crafter of like the engine. the Ziri engine, like Hux being like one of the initial mechanics of the first 5, or the initial mechanic of the first 5, while Ziri developed the propulsion systems in the engine. Hux did a lot of like secondary work in developing the first ship of space travel. And that these are designs replicated from him in his original work.
We are in the midst of something that was created long ago. I guess that is quite clear, but this is the marking of the institution of space travel, which is, goodness, I don't even know if we have a cause to interact with them ourselves.
Do they still
so
exist?
cool.
They still exist?
No, not in their original inception. Like a great deal of the information and the records and all of the stuff they had was like here stationed on this planet with the library. So really like the trade guilds hold for proprietary rights on like most of the actual design at this point. Like the few ships that are like accessible to the people that kind of travel across the stars, like Lux would know this well. They all come out of like the trade guilds, the like large religious institutions, even most of the mercenaries. They're like buying designs or like pre-built ships from the trade manufacturers.
Is there any clear like I don't know, tracks or anything that somebody like shut this down as we approached?
From where you are, like you don't see anything. You want to like go look around a little bit
Oh,
more.
yeah.
You could,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Lux is just kind of walking
as you're
in,
like examining stuff back here, you don't see any kind of indication that there's even like a control panel or anything like that.
Yeah, I think continue forward.
Okay, as you get to there, why don't we have you make a second like a survival check here, Lux? No longer with advantage. This is not space.
Yes. 20.
20. You do not see the tracks of anything around you as you're moving. I'm going to say to everybody, freeze. As like Lux is like looking around, like scanning the area to see if you can like spot anything. I think you do identify that here on, oops, sorry, that's not a ping. On this particular one of like the buoys, you see that there's like a panel facing the north side that looks like it might be some type of like control panel or like access port, right? But I think that as you're standing here, this is where the lot of you suddenly are. Actually, let me do one of these. It's got advantage on this as it's coming out of its false appearance. It's indistinguishable from Norman Cave formation. 23, that's going to beat everybody. The Roper is going to take a surprise round. I'm going to say to everybody else, all of you may click your tokens and roll initiative as you are moving. Suddenly, where this one like broken tower stands here in like the northeastern corner of this circle of like kind of equipment, hardware buoys, the actual mechanism itself like wheels and moves, and you realize that it is this Roper like concealed within like the ruins of the broken bit of equipment, tendrils like lashing out from it. It stands somewhere in the region of like 16 or 17 feet tall, this kind of like rubbery, like slimy looking thing with this big gleaming red eye in the center of it, and this like vicious toothy jawed maw. Tentacles begin kind of like lashing out in every direction. Blam, let's do this. Roper face.
Wow, guys, that's some impressive initiative.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's gonna get to go twice before any.
Oh my god.
Impressive. You guys just all didn't roll terrifically. I don't feel nearly as guilty. I was afraid. Okay, geez, this might be tough. No. Okay. It attacks. It lashes out a tendril for you, Lux. 14. Miss. A second. One for Reginald. 21. Does that hit you, Lux?
Yeah.
Did you say
For
Reg?
Reginald or for Lux?
A second one was going for Lux, and then I'm going for Reginald. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Oops. You're grappled, and it begins like pulling you back. For Reginald now,
Mm-hmm.
Is there damage with that or
Nope.
no? Okay.
22, Reginald. Does that get you?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Reg is
Okay.
just staring at the thing, and then the thing grabs him and goes, hmm?
This tentacle like snaps out from it, wrapping itself around you. Two of them lash towards Lux as you like sidestep one another, hits you from behind, wrapping you up. And then one for you, Rhea.
feet.
It's pretty brutal.
Oh my god.
20!
Oh.
That does, unfortunately, no double damage.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
all
for
the
real.
three
I
of you are
guess.
grappled. Rhea, Lux, the professor are grappled by tentacles suddenly. And Lux, you are reeled in as it like pulls you back towards it, like lifting you up. And the jaw, like mouth, vicious teeth jutting out of it, like takes a bite.
Ow. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Lux, you take
Ah!
23 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, as it's like
Flashbacks
holding
to this
you,
morning in the P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Taylor's had a rough
I
day.
love that.
like 23.
Same amount of damage.
23 is the number of chaos, as it's like holding Lux sideways in the air, and you watch these like many like razor sharp kind of fangs clamp down on your friend, the young pilot, Brutal. You guys unfortunately surprised it's gonna go again. This is pretty ugly right here. At which
Oh my-
point
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Brutal. It's gonna try to bite you again, Lux.
Yeah, it is.
And it misses. Quite fortunately.
Doesn't have. Does it have advantage?
It doesn't. I don't think it does
Okay.
have advantage. I'm
Not
double
when
checking.
I'm grounded.
No, no,
You're
no, 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 no,
Are you
no.
restrained? Are we considered
Restrained
Restrained
restrained?
is
The
not
target is
incapacitated, right?
restrained.
So I don't know.
Oh, you are restrained.
Until
I don't know if it means.
I can never
but-
remember all the.
it says that the target is restrained.
Yeah, you are restrained.
Right,
I always
but
like
it's
mix up the
restrained
grapple
isn't-
and restrained. Your speed
Sorry.
becomes 0. Attack rolls against you definitely do have advantage. That hits. Lux, this might be real bad. Lux, you're down. 29
yep.
points of
Boom.
damage. You
Down.
watch Lux like drop as it begins shuffling itself back a little bit towards this like cliff's edge. Ooh, geez, what did I just do there?
That looked really bad for a second.
That
Right?
looks so
Lux
scary.
just like disappeared
Oh
off
my
the screen.
God.
It shuffles itself back towards this cliff edge, and then it's got Rhea and the professor grappled already. It's going to throw a tendril for, I know, this is pretty rough right here, for Doc and Waffle, one for each of you guys. 16 and 11.
Which one's for which?
16 is for Doc, 11's for Waffle.
And I can react with my shield.
You sure can.
Okay, so that is 2 misses.
Sick. So we see like the force shield like projects up out of the bracer, blocking it. That's the Roper. Lux. I need a death saving throw.
All right.
What a way to start.
Whimsy.
Come on. Whimsy.
Hey, it was pretty whimsical with the avocados until you guys were like, let's check out the scary space portal. 11. No, wait, that wasn't your roll.
That was a big 3
Oh.
on the dice.
Jake, you're up on 10. This thing has got tentacles all over the place. It's grappling Rhea and Reginald, like grabbing them with tentacles. More tentacles like flailing out at Doc and Waffle, who managed to avoid it. Lux is like hanging unconscious in the Roper's one of its tentacles. You are up.
Jake is going to move 30 feet closer.
Oh, he's all the
Like-
way back there.
He tears his.
Wasn't
Yep.
with us. So slow, the turtle.
He was expecting this
Oh, it's
thing.
smart. This makes sense. It's good. It's
Yeah,
good
no,
that you're
it
far away
makes
from the
sense.
thing that has really long reach.
Oh, I should move to the map. Bing! It's a map. Here we go.
Ding.
He is going to fire 2 arrows at the roper.
Yeah.
Longbow, so it's within range.
It sure is. Yeah.
13 misses. 9 misses.
Wow. 13 and 9
Wow.
do miss. That's your action, Jake. Bonus action? Anything else? Okay, that's Jake's turn. Professor, you're up on 10.
Okay, I see that Lux is grappled and restrained and incapacitated. I think, does it appear that I could attack the tendrils directly?
Yes. The tendrils are all attackable.
I
You
think
can
that
either attack a tendril on your turn to try to destroy it, or you can make a make a strength check or a dex check to try to escape.
right.
But the attack is at disadvantage, right? And the strength is at disadvantage because we're okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that Reginald. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is DM Philly. I can do 2 spells in one turn.
You sure can.
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
you can.
You sure can.
Yes, I
yes,
can.
you can.
Send him up.
Okay, done. Action.
I'm the worst. I
action,
create bad
Jackson.
habits.
Magic missile at the tendril that has Lux tied up.
Oh.
Boom, boom, boom. That is 11 points of force damage.
Okay, that hits. The tendril breaks and Lux drops to the ground.
Bonus action, Misty Step out of the tendril that I am currently in.
Huzzah!
Here next to Lux and attempt to interpose myself between her and the creature.
Okay, you guys watch as the professor fires these darts of magical energy, which come striking from his bow tie, and he then fades into this mist, coalescing on top of the roper, looming over the fallen form of your companion. Doc, you're up on 7.
Okay.
Just a point of clarification. How am I taking any fall damage? How high was I being held?
It's a great question, Taylor.
Oh.
I was not going to make the point, but I think that you are, in fact, dropped from a height of at least 7 or 8 feet onto metal rubble beneath you.
Yeah.
Can I attempt to catch her as part of my
Yeah.
Misty Step?
Yeah, why don't we have you make an athletics check as part of your Misty Step as you are
I just wanted to try to be
frantically
fair.
trying to get the Action Jackson maneuver. 15. I think Professor you coalesce just as her body is about to smash into the metal carnage below, and you're able to lower to the ground behind you, as it were.
Yes, and I was going to say, I would like to move her, which I don't think invites an opportunity attack for her at least, and set her down on the ground between me and the roper, or me
Got
with
it.
me between her and the roper.
Got it. Doc, your friend is hurt. The professor is on top of this thing. It's all over the place. Tentacles whirling everywhere. It seems to have a reach of at least 50 feet. What would you like to do?
Is anybody currently grappled? Is Rhea? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Where would I have to go to try to hit the tendril with my battle axe? Can I just stand next to?
The one that's on Rhea?
Yeah.
I think we can imagine that there's a straight line from it
Yeah.
to her.
Great. Okay, then I am going
So
to
anywhere on the axis of that
Perfect.
line you could
Okay.
hit it,
Yeah, perfect. Okay, then I'm going to move up 30 feet. Okay, kind of in that way and attack the tendril with my battle axe.
You come like charging forward towards the tendril, the axe coming up in a big arc over your head as you cleave down into it. That hits.
For 9 slashing damage.
It does not cut it all the way through, Doc. You cleave through like most of it, but it's still like connected, holding your friend.
Then I hit it again harder.
Hits.
Oh my goodness.
And you
for
shear
7.
clean through. Rhea, you are freed as the tendril like falls to the ground in front of you, like coming loose and dropping like harmlessly around your feet. And I think that the roper like you like watching as like new tendrils are just kind of like growing out of it while you guys fight.
Okay. And then I think Waffle is going to just dash over. How far can he get? Sorry, my screen is too small. I can't see all the things.
I know that problem. Yep.
Yeah. Can Waffle get flanking?
Yeah, Waffle can flank.
Great. So he's gonna like fly all the way over here.
His little flappy wings come like racing across as he like circles in around behind the roper professor. That's Doc and Waffle?
Yep, that's all I can do.
That's Doc and Waffle. Rhea, Dubrook, you're up on 3.
So annoyingly, I didn't prepare a healing word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I do have mass healing word.
Oh,
Feels it's a lot, but I'll use it. I don't think anybody else taking damage will use it.
I was 4 down basically from before anyway. So.
Great. So anybody who wants it can have. You have to be within 60 feet of me. So as long as you're within 60 feet of me. Okay, and then let's move up. Where can I get? Like right behind Doc. And let's use. Ooh. Let's bless everybody. Can I do? Is that? Yeah, it's an action, right? Yeah. Let's bless not everybody, but
Jake.
3 creatures. Jake being maybe out of range.
Oh no!
So the 3 people closest to the thing, I think, will bless. So Reggie, Lux, and Doc are blessed.
Awesome.
That's my turn.
Rhea, well done. Nice turn. The roper, no longer grappling anybody, quite annoyed, is going to try to grab people. It'll try to grab Waffle.
No Waffle.
17?
Yep.
Okay, Waffle's grappled. It'll try to grab the professor.
Yes.
Oof, 13.
Misses.
It will try to grab Doc.
Point of clarification. I'm assuming Waffle cannot. He's grappled. Yeah, he can't do a reaction, right?
He's grappled and restrained. Let me double check here. Let's see. Attack rolls have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Just click your thing in there. What exactly is? I think he could.
This is too late, but I'm just going to point out that I probably should have remembered. Waffle can't be surprised.
Oh, that's
He's
really
vigilant.
important.
So
That
funny.
would have been useful to remember 2 rounds ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just looking at his sheet.
Whoops. Click your like disadvantage interposing thing and let me see what's going on. Yeah, I think he could still do it, even though he's restrained. I think like he can make a real pain in the ass out of himself while he's grappled and restrained to impose disadvantage on this attack.
Okay, he's not going to do it on this one. He's going to do it on if one goes for Lux.
Okay, it's gonna go for you and Rhea actually. So yeah, that's
okay.
your
Then
call.
the one on Rhea.
Okay, so for you, for Doc, 22.
Yep.
Okay, you are grappled and restrained, and for Rhea, which will be at disadvantage, 14.
Misses.
Excellent, Ray. You're able to like the
Thank you.
trident like slaps it away as waffles like, and you see it like
to no effect, but it's fine.
Yep, turn and look back. Meanwhile, it did get you, Doc.
Yep.
So it proceeds to reel you in and bite with advantage because it's a nightmare.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh, come on.
Okay. Here we go.
Rich.
20! That's 32
Oh.
points of piercing damage, Doc, as it's like yanks your feet up off the ground, battle axe clutched in one hand. You come like flying towards it, this massive mouth, evil like teeth like as it chops down on you. That's its turn. Lux.
That was actually a really lucky roll.
That was a very lucky
Yeah, that
roll.
could have been.
Lux, you're flat on your back, laying amidst the rubble. Professor looming over you. Doc hanging from the air in the roper's mouth. Waffle, like, making all kinds of noise from behind it. Yeah, what would you like to do?
How is Doc looking, hanging in the air?
I have 14 HP left, so, you know.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Don't let it do that again,
Right.
probably.
Yeah, man. Okay, I mean, I think Lux like opens her eyes, like sees Doc hanging there. Is like if I stand up, and, like move, can I reach Doc?
Yeah, Doc's, well, I mean, what are you trying to
Can
do?
I-
You might be able to reach Doc. If you want to just touch
I mean, yeah.
them, if you're just trying to touch them,
Yeah.
you could. You could
Yeah.
jump up
High
and touch
five.
them. Yeah.
You're trying to punch Doc in this stressful time.
Tamora smiles.
Yes, yeah, I'm 100% trying to punch Doc.
Tamora can't hear you in space.
Yeah.
You can jump up and punch Doc. Yes, no problem. Yes,
No.
yes.
Lux,
It's
like-
at advantage because it's
Yes, you have advantage to punch Doc. Yeah.
on the punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lux jumps, and like, you know, yeah, like, just like tries to touch Doc and I'll cast a Cure Wounds, level 2. Oh my, that's really sad.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but it, gosh, why?
That's not
I rolled
bad.
terribly. What are you talking about? I rolled a 1. It's awful.
Listen, could be worse.
Don't.
Not really. It couldn't. I'm being very hyperbolic. Lux, that's your action as you jump up and punch Heal Doc. You got a bonus
I
action,
do.
anything like that? Mhm.
Gosh, I need to like use my like an action for an attack to my offhand, right? That's the thing.
You have to take the attack
Yeah,
action to make the offhand attack. Yeah, so you're out. There.
Well, I will Hunter's Mark it.
Out of Lux.
For you
Okay.
know.
We're never out of Lux.
We're never out of Lux, Grace. You're working for it, huh?
Go on.
I think that's inspiration worthy. I'll give it to you.
No, it's not.
They're
You are
very
never out of
Philly
Lux.
inspiration.
You are never out of Lux.
Short staff didn't get inspiration.
I
but
know,
never
I
out
know.
of
I
luck.
owe
We're in a
Grace
laughing fit. It's
inspiration
okay.
from 3 weeks ago, and this session
Yeah,
feels
that's
much
right.
more harrowing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
take
fair.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
a group dice.
Great.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. That's
Is that it?
Wait, is it?
You can give. That's how.
Yeah,
didn't
you
that-
can
didn't
you
it
can give
save-
the inspiration to anybody else you would like, Grace.
Basha-
you are now in charge
Basha
of
gave
your
it to
inspiration.
Zophiel in our thing. So
What?
yeah.
You are now in charge of the inspiration. Jake, you're up on 10.
I'm just seeing the range. Okay.
You got great range. Yeah, I've heard you sing.
Oh, inspiration, Rich.
Hey,
Don't
thanks. I
do
need that.
that,
I need
Roper
that.
inspiration,
I
please.
need that.
Yeah,
I need
no.
that.
It's not real. It's
yeah,
not real.
it's not,
It's
it's
not
not real,
thing.
Rich.
No, that's just the attack
It's
it
not
uses to pull us close and bite our heads off.
Yeah,
That's
That's
real.
good.
Jake will fire again, and he's really low on arrows. Actually,
We
it's becoming
picked
actually.
some
You
up
guys
at
could have
Bridge.
reprovisioned in Bridge. Yeah, they got you a bunch of mushroom arrows. Lux got extra arrows for
Yeah,
you guys.
oh, for sure.
They're just made of mushroom
Not to
stalks.
be confused with marrows, which we
Yeah.
might fight at some point.
Okay.
This ain't Monday night, baby. This ain't Monday night. Is this
No, it's not. 27 hits. That's 11 points damage. Anything else? Bees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound annoyed by your own bees.
Yeah, I forgot my bees. Yep.
Yeah, I thought you said earlier about like that it was approaching a cliff, but that does not look. Did I misunderstand?
There's a ledge like up behind it. You know what I mean? It's not a plummeting
okay.
cliff off the side or anything.
Is anybody currently grappled?
Doc and Waffle are both grappled. Yep, but it's holding Doc in the air, like trying to kill her.
Then I will just do basic 4 points of piercing from the bees that rode along with the arrow.
Nice. That's your first attack. Second attack.
19?
Misses. The arrow deflects off of it. This thing is AC 20. But you have damaged it. So that's good. Jake, that's your action. That was your movement. Bonus action?
No, but I don't like that it rolls the damage with the attack.
You could shut that off.
Earlier today.
It's a default on the back of the character sheet. You guys can shut it off. You should be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, click the gear and there should be a checkbox somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which will take us to the professor on 10. You are not grappled. Doc's being held up in the air next to you. Lux standing just behind, pretty battered. Doc looking a little bit better, though grappled and held. An arrow sails past you, hammering into this thing. Bees like burrowing into it. A second deflecting off. What would you like to do, Doc?
I think the professor is about to like cast a spell that some of you have already seen, directed at most of you, and like turns back to Jake and starts, and then realizes how far away he is, and then has to kind of pivot. And instead, I think harnesses that arcane energy and holds his action to cast Vicious Mockery before the creature's next bite attack. So the trigger would be if he sees the creature about to bite someone, he would release
cast Vicious Mockery.
He will attempt to mockery it.
Okay. That's your whole turn?
That is as much as the professor can do right now.
Doc, you're up on 7.
Okay, I can attack the tendril that it has me grappled.
Yep.
Yeah,
You sure
great.
could.
I'm gonna hit it. 26.
Hits.
Great. For
For
11,
11
slashing
points
damage?
of slashing damage. You cut through it, Doc. Let's have you make an athletics or an acrobatics check to land on your feet.
Great.
As you drop towards the rubble, trying to like right
21.
yourself. 21. You like land nimbly amidst the like broken machinery underneath this thing. That's your first attack. Second attack.
Great. I'm going to move and attack the tendril that has Waffle.
Oh, okay. You step in around to the other side and cleave down towards that tendril.
27.
27 hits.
For 10
For
slashing
10,
damage.
you slice the tendril and Waffle breaks free. Doc, that's your action. Bonus action, anything like that?
Bonus action, Waffle is then going to attack the roper itself. Because nobody else is grappled, right? It was just the two of us?
Yep, correct. Flanking with advantage. 17 hit. Does not hit. I'm so
Does not
sorry.
hit.
Yeah, it's AC 20. Waffle like slaps into it with his little tail, but this thing is rough and tough and does not seem to be affected. That'll take us to Rhea on 3. You're up.
How far away am I? Let's just come up and attack it with the trident.
Sorry, Waffle didn't get the bless, right? You did. It was the 3 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
14. Not flanking.
Not flanking. 14's a miss. The trident like glancing off of its rocky hide.
Red's just gonna go invisible.
Okay. Rhea like comes racing up,
Furball
jabs
magic.
at it with the trident, and then like
Oh shit, didn't work.
vanishes.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay. Sorry, continue.
No problem, as it vanishes. Okay, Roper goes. Gosh, there's 4 people right here. We're going to start up north and go clockwise. So it shoots a tendril for Doc. 26. You are
Yep.
grappled and restrained, Doc. A tendril for poor Waffle.
I'm such an idiot. I have shield. I swear I played this character a week ago. What is?
You want a shield? You could cast
No,
shield.
I can't. But I probably could have shielded something before. Anyway.
No problem.
Nine. It's not
9 misses
Yeah.
Waffle. For the Professor. 17. Does that wrap you up, Professor?
The professor will give me just a second. I need
Yep,
to
you take your
see
time.
a thing.
Arcano deflection.
Yeah, except
Rich, if there's
Does
a
it-
4th tendril attack going for Lux, then Waffle will use his thingy.
You got it, because there is.
Okay.
I'll roll it now. With disadvantage for Lux.
I think he does see. I think it's going to hit. Yes.
Okay, Professor, you are grappled. Doc, you are grappled. Lux, the tentacle comes like hammering towards you past the invisible Rhea as Waffles like and distracts it enough that you're able to like just sidestep at the last moment. I think it is going to lift up Doc for another bite. You may vicious mockery.
Yes. I think. I think at this point, Reginald would just say, "Mr. Roper, it's not what it seems."
That's really what I was waiting for the DM inspiration for tonight.
right,
Okay,
that's
so vicious mockery gives it disadvantage on something.
It needs to make a wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage and disadvantage on its next attack. God, this is a total waste. Yep. And it doesn't even do half damage. So nope. Great turn, Bob.
Does nothing, and it tries to bite. Poor Doc. 17, Doc. You do still have shield.
Do I have? So my shield. Can I react with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. Then it misses.
Your force shield projecting up out of the bracer, it misses. The teeth like dragging across this invisible like kind of shielding barrier right up against your face, Doc. It's a horrific sight. It is not whimsical. Lux, you're up on 12.
I distracted it, Doc.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Lux is just gonna like take a couple of steps back to get a better vantage point, and take out her longbow and try and fire at the tendril that has Doc first. Planar warrior as well. Bonus action.
Got it.
Okay.
21 hits.
Oh yeah. baby.
Tendril rips as you like send an arrow straight through, and Doc drops down to the ground. Doc, make another acrobatics check. That's your first attack, Lux. Second attack.
Yes. Who else is grappled right now?
Reginald.
Okay, for the one for Reggie then.
25 hits.
Oh, no planar warrior that time, so take away the 6.
It does not sever the tentacle entirely. Reginald is still grappled.
With
some portion of it holding.
so it's still 7 plus 3.
Wait, I'm confused. Is it not 9 points of damage?
No, it's 9 it's mixing the global damage, which is strange. So 9 is the Hunter's Mark and Planar Warrior, minus the Planar Warrior is still 3 with the Hunter's Mark.
Ooh.
So it's 7 plus
okay,
3
yeah, we'll
Hunter's
give you the
Mark.
Hunter's Mark. Yeah, we'll give you the Hunter's Mark. So the tentacle rips. Reginald, you are freed. Lux, as a being who has battled many aberrations here in space, especially in recent months, you're realizing, like, even though you're like severing tentacle after tentacle after tentacle, clearly you're freeing your friends and you're preventing them from being lifted up and bitten, but it is not damaging this creature. This creature is taking no damage from these tentacles coming.
I was gonna ask that.
It's just like regenerating tentacle after tentacle after tentacle, like. And so with that, Reginald is freed, Doc is freed. That is your bonus action. That's your action. You have a little bit more movement.
Okay.
Jake, you're up on 10.
Jake is going to move to here.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake is going to fire here.
Excellent. Jake darting in behind the broken equipment. He puts his shell up against the like cliff rising up behind him.
Jake doesn't dart.
Yeah, that's my mistake.
I understand with the intent.
Yeah, Jake, he walks very methodically.
He quickly lumbers.
What, you're saying he doesn't go into his shell and roll forward?
Ooh, yeah.
He pulls a Koopa.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
25 will hit Jake. So 13 points of piercing damage
13.
plus bees.
So good.
Sigh for bees.
Bees swarming around the arrows.
Second attack.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The exact opposite roll.
Goodness.
That's great.
17 plus bees.
Plus bees.
Double bees.
Double bees,
Hey.
baby.
That's min-max there.
Ow. 24 points of damage.
Amazing.
Jake like hammers into it with 2 arrows. The bees swarming around them, digging down, stabbing with their little stingers. This thing does not look thrilled. It has this gaping, bloody wound facing towards one Jake Doya. Jake, that's your action. You have bonus action? Anything else?
I think I might have gotten too close this time. But no, I'm done.
Professor, you're up on 10.
I think seeing like Jake do this sort of damage and hearing him say that, I think he would turn around and complete the notion of what he had before, which is he turns back and makes brief eye contact and says, "Do you want to do more?" Looking at Jake.
Okay.
He will cast haste.
Yeah.
Upon
Making
Jake.
the rounds.
Yeah.
2.5 rounds into combat here.
Wonderful.
Prepare for Hyper Jake, though. Yeah, okay.
And he's not. We've not done any sort of reaction. Oh boy, do I? Nope, I'm not going to attempt it. I think the professor will stay there. That is his turn.
Okay. Doc, you're up on 7.
Okay, I'm gonna. Nobody's grappled, right?
Nobody's grappled.
Great. I'm gonna hit the thing with my
Yeah.
axe.
Luck's doing work.
Avec
24?
24 hits.
Yeah.
For 15 slashing damage.
Yeah, okay.
So
And then I'm gonna hit it again for 28.
Oh,
brutal.
For 11 slashing damage.
She might not leave you any left, Jake. Just a heads up.
Those both hit Doc as you're like hewing into the side of this thing, axe like hammering in low at the base of this like towering monstrosity, its tentacles flailing everywhere. That's your action.
Yeah, bonus action. Waffle's gonna go 18 is going to miss. That's my turn.
Rhea, you're up on 3.
okay. I appear. I'm not invisible anymore. It breaks at the start of my turn, but I'm gonna swing around this way. So I have advantage, and I'm just gonna. It's you would want to reach out to get me. I'm gonna reach out and touch you, and I'm gonna inflict wounds. But do I? It's at advantage. I don't have any second level spell slots, but I do have a third level spell. But I also am like, I really want to keep. I really feel like I need to heal people, but it's looking rough, right?
It looks really bad as you
Ah.
come racing around next to the professor. You look up and you see Jake's 3 arrows jutting out of it, blood pouring down. Meanwhile, Doc wham, wham, chopping into the other side. It seems pretty hurt.
Oh, well, it seems hurt, so then I should not do the. Yeah, so I'll just do first. I'll just do
Okay.
one at first level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope it's enough.
Hope it's enough.
27 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
22 points. In this kind of thing. Can I just see? What it would have?
Yeah, please.
What this would have been?
Oh wow!
22
Okay.
Exact same.
Well,
Would have been 22
that was a good
points.
call.
Wow!
That was an excellent call.
Holy
Good
crap! That's crazy.
Oh, that's very
Rhea,
funny.
as you come darting around and you reach out grabbing at this thing, you feel your fingers dig into its rocky hide, the gross kind of roper slime underneath your hand, you feel the music. Gosh.
You feel the music.
It's been you feel the music in your heart and your soul.
Do you guys hear the music?
Can't help but dance. Everybody get down.
You have to send us a video of what the music is for this fight because we feel
I'm gonna
it.
need Adam to write that music for me.
Nah, I'm sure Micah has it already, right? They ran a roper fight with a PvP
Yeah,
with a
true.
bunch of music in it. I'm sure. Yeah.
That's
Already
very
out there.
true. Yeah, Micah, please feel free to send the soundtrack recommendations. You feel the magic of Clancy surge through your hand, and the roper tentacles flailing wildly. They kind of slap harmlessly against the lot of you as it is losing its strength, and it topples, smashing into the cliffside, rubble falling down around as it flops over, destroyed amidst the broken rubble and machinery.
One
Jake.
didn't need to be so dramatic.
Nope. Jake, you're moving real fast.
I was gonna say, Jake, just run around for a bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Have a
go,
good time
go.
and
We have a minute.
sprint.
We have a minute. Explore.
Wait, there might be more of these things.
Yeah,
Don't
be
go
careful, please.
Yeah.
The lot of you, as it dies, find yourself amidst the quiet void of space. Nothing around you but the soft kind of sound. It's almost like rain of the thin kind of debris and rubble from the space around you clattering into the ground.
I think Lux has 2 giant bite marks and it's bleeding pretty badly on the ground. Not on the ground, but
I have some healing I could do if anybody needs it.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, I'll cast a Cure Wounds on left.
I can also I have one I've only a couple more spell
Who-
slots, so
I have. Yeah. I actually have 3 spell slots left. I can also do some. I can cast Cure Wounds on myself.
I think while this happens, Reginald reaches into his pockets and pulls out the pearl of power, and then grabs it and regains a spell slot. But then immediately, especially once the haste wears off, from Jake, will open up his notebook and just begin furiously scribbling into it.
When the spell ends, Jake is like,
yeah. Yeah.
"Ooh, I'm gonna take another nap."
You like naps.
How
Total
many
tired.
spell slots are you looking at, Rhea?
I have 2. I have a first level and a third
Right,
level.
so you hang on to yours, and I will use mine to heal myself.
Okay.
Because that's important.
Yeah, I've got 2 left.
It put on this planar warrior on my heel.
The Hunter's Mark and the Planar Warrior.
Wouldn't that be convenient?
She heals you for 15, but you take 6 points of damage.
I can heal myself.
Lux once again into the punch healing.
15.
How are you both looking after that?
I'm at about half.
Well, I'll just use this first. I'll just use it again. There's could be more out here, so we have another 7.
I apologize for wasting our resources and not. I thought that I could distract it during the battle, and it appeared much stronger than. What was that?
That was the roper that I
You did
mentioned.
distract it.
Yeah.
You
What are you
saved
talking about?
Lux.
That. Well, yes, but after that.
Okay, but like the thing that you did that was really good was still really
Yeah.
good. Like, don't.
You helped.
Okay. Yes. That it was a roper.
Yeah.
Could have described its size a bit
Sorry.
more. I didn't realize
I was a little
it was that.
distracted. There's so much stuff here.
Nevertheless, no. Where I come from, there are not stalactites that large. We do not have a deep cavern system or any. I thought quite small, handheld type creature that I would be able to see.
Well, also, admittedly, I've only ever read about them. Ropers aren't something I've actually encountered before. I just studied them. So, in real life, it looks a little bit different than it does on the page. So.
What's your impression now?
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah.
Right.
I think this is what we call a teachable moment.
For whom?
So, yeah.
I think Doc's gonna turn to
All
Waffle
of
and
us.
be like, "We gotta give you a tune-up, buddy. You're supposed to be more vigilant than that. I don't know what's going on. You got some grease or something in a sensor somewhere. Not supposed to have it." So, I think she's gonna.
So, are we? I mean, we all look rough, but are we gonna go look further? It seems like maybe a bad idea, but
hang
Seems
on.
like a
I'm
bad
gonna
idea,
go
but I still
over
wanna do
here.
it.
Check this out. Doc, come with me.
check this
Also,
out.
you still have
Yeah.
invisibility cast on you.
I
That's
do.
for now.
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
so I
you could
could've
see me
seen
when I was
Rayo.
invisible. That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, 1 second. So see invisibility. You could see invisible creatures or creatures on the ethereal plane.
Yeah. I can pop it in the chat again if you
I think Reg will definitely take a moment to look around at the other towers and make sure there aren't any other hidden giant ropers in the towers.
Lux points out to Doc specifically this panel, this seemingly control panel situation on the one pillar that Lux is nearby.
Yeah, I want to go look at the panel.
Yeah.
Okay, as you come over to the panel, Doc, and you begin to kind of scope it out, yeah, you see a series of kind of dials, levers. It's not like a digital display or anything like that, right? There is a kind of glass port behind it, and you see there's a whole series of what looks almost counterweights and levers, almost brass pistons and gears, and a few glimmering gemstones in separate areas. And as you're scoping it out, you're pretty easily able to discern this is definitely the control center for this whole mechanism, and stuff is nothing is moving back here, but you get the notion that you could use these levers and dials certainly potentially to activate or turn the thing on, but to set coordinates, designations, destinations.
Am I able to find, is there any sort of history log to it, or current setting in which I can see where was the last portal to? Does it appear like it was tampered with at all? Is there any of that kind of information
That's
that I
a
can get?
Take a piece of paper and trace over it. Right?
Yeah. That's a great question. Why don't you make an investigation check?
Also,
I should have made her proficient in investigation.
I'm sorry.
Can Lux be
yeah,
helping? Is that a thing? Lux is with her there.
We love helping Rich.
I know.
We're very helpful.
Super helpful.
You can
Yeah,
say
you
no
can totally
sometimes.
say no.
I know, I
You know?
can. I think that, like, yeah, Lux probably. I think in this situation, Lux could help though, because like you have a measure of familiarity with like technological equipment of this nature, not like specifically this machine. So I think as you're like scoping it out, you realize pretty quickly, Doc, like there's no like readings or like port outs, but whatever like setting it is on right now is clearly designating the last place that it was sent to, right? And I will say at this point, actually, hold on one second. Just bear with me
If you're
for a
about to
second.
attack us with another roper waffle, we'll.
Yeah, if I'm about to attack you with another roper, this is the point where like Melissa actually rolls initiative against me.
Also, I know we mentioned it quickly. Does Lux see anything on the like creepy hanging around? Okay.
You see nothing creepy or evident as you're
Okay.
like looking, trying to figure out what's going on. Hold
Good,
on
good,
one
good.
second here. Oof, brutal. Okay, I think that yeah, Doc, you're like, okay, you have a notion that like whatever it is set up to or set on right now is definitely like the last location that somebody would have like utilized to send this here. But I think that it's at this point that Waffle would like suddenly like and he turns and like looks back towards this whole area, and the lot of you like see these three kind of like shadowy shapes like standing back here near the entrance, and I think you hear a voice call out to you in this kind of like stilted common, like I thought I heard something. Who are you? What are you doing with the machine? And as you guys like turn looking back, you see like kind of emerging out of the darkness of the cavern, standing in the entry to the cave, this figure wearing black armor. It's got a chain like wrapped over its shoulders, kind of like hanging down loose, and it's holding it sort of casually, like one might a scarf, right? Like pulling down around the edges of it. And I think you see these blades of black metal dangling at the edges of this chain. And on either side of it are these massive kind of shadow hounds. Their eyes like gleaming yellow. They're very like essence itself, almost like ephemeral and perpetually kind of like moving and like rolling bits of like shadow stuff around them. And they both like sit on their haunches, these like massive, powerful, broad-chested, like big-headed dogs, like sitting patiently to his like left and right, this figure. They have very pale skin, like as pale as like starlight almost, head shaven completely smooth with no adornments or like markings on it whatsoever, and their ears rise all too high into like these thin pointed almost elvish looking ears. Their eyes dark peering back at you, such that like they're almost black entirely. There are no whites to their eyes. And yeah, this figure just stands casually at the entrance, like gazing over the lot of you, like, who are you? What do you want with the machines?
Just looking.
Yeah,
Figuring
we're
it out.
explorers. We stumbled across this station.
Is it yours? Should we can.
Did,
I think that the figure calls back like, the age of explorers is over. There are no explorers left anymore.
well, that doesn't make sense because we're
Yeah,
explorers.
Yeah, no, you got it wrong. Yeah.
Maybe with the lowercase e.
Mm.
Did you know this thing was out here? And Lux like points to the like dead body of the roper.
And it like turns looking back to you like,
Did we kill another pet?
Oh,
I
We gotta stop.
I think we might have killed a booby trap.
It is not a pet. Such things float through the empty void of your plane. We let them linger here. They are useful in alerting us should any arrive, though it has been long since that occurred.
Is that true though? Because we feel like this place might have been active not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
What are you saying, Kurt?
oh no, I was waiting for there's a question was asked, and I will wait till there was a
I think
response.
that he's like looking like towards you for a second, Jake, and then back towards you, Reyes, just like it was open. It has long been broken. Does not operate as it should anymore, which is why we let these things linger here.
You said your plane, like our plane. Is this not your plane?
Not anymore. Once, before memory. And I think he like reaches down and like pets one of like the dogs at his side and is like, our home is place of darkness eternal. Shadows linger and are given life.
Who's a good boy?
Do you I could try to help you fix it?
You are trained in the old mechanisms?
No, but I am very smart.
Also, who are you and what are your intentions?
I think actually that's what Reginald has been very much spending the last 30 seconds trying to determine. What their background is and what their intentions are.
Make a history check, Reg, and then an insight check.
Oh, goodness. And then we'll see how they respond to Lux's question. We'll see if he's right in his assessment.
They seem elvish, and you've read scholarly texts about the elves of the Shadow Plane, those like banished. There are stories of shadow elves having mastered their own strange interpretation of the Ziri engine. And so you think to yourself, having never seen one before, that this figure fits those qualifications. As to their intention, it's very hard to say. And as they respond to Lux, I think they say, I do not know your names, explorers, but I am called Lyric's Kine. My intentions are to discern your intentions.
How do you spell that?
With a series of elvish letters, likely unfamiliar to you, but you might say Lairexkyne.
Okay,
Ding.
last name I got.
No, I'm playing. Oh, you spelled it correctly.
All right.
We're just looking around.
We're a part of the Tam Fey Guild,
Mm.
the explorers of space explorers.
Exploration is perhaps a strong word that brings about many notions. Some of us consider ourselves researchers aboard a ship that moves.
Yeah, and either way, a portal that worked and we had access to would help exploring and researching. So,
Yeah.
Yes, we would be interested in repairing this if it were possible. Doc, do you believe that that is possible?
I mean, maybe it's worth a shot.
If
I'm
you
confident as
could
always.
fix this thing, the old machines, my people would find that very appreciative and helpful.
Are you looking like listen, I didn't
I think
You're
he
not
turns,
gonna
like,
do any-
looking at you, frowning.
Yeah, Preston.
Listen, are you trying to like invade people or something?
Quite
Like
the
are you looking
contrary.
That's
What do you look
okay.
like right now, Lux? I just need to stop
She
down.
looks like her changeling self. I think that she like has her like white hair.
Okay, yeah.
And
So he wheels on you and like cuts you off, and he's just like, quite the contrary, flesh changer. We seek to close the way. As it stands now, the gates are broken. The passage to our home world opens like clockwork every 4 days and remains open for 4 days. We would see it repaired so we could bar the way and no
So you could
peer ever over our shoulders wondering who will come through.
Can I check
We have
out
our
how I
own-
feel about how accurate? this
yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
think he says,
it's-
we have our own means to move back and forth. Should we choose to invade, we have no need of this.
is? That's reassuring.
Okay. Sure.
You have your own means of moving
think
back
he
and
said-
forth between the planes.
Between our plane and the prime, yes.
Is that something innate in your culture?
Amongst some, yes.
Mm.
It is teachable to others.
Mm.
Those whom need to travel can travel.
So really, you just kind of want this portal to not be connected to your home world. Is that correct?
There is no way to untether it from the shadow plane.
Well,
I would have it.
You just want to control it.
Yeah, so that it doesn't just like open randomly and then stay open and then.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
And why should we trust you? Why should we believe you?
I don't know why you should trust me, nor I you. But you may believe me, for what do I have to gain to tell you this?
A repaired portal that you could use in any way whatsoever. A
All right,
group
that's
of
fair. Maybe I
adventurers.
didn't
Yeah.
think that through before I suggested that, so that's a very reasonable thing. I think that he's like, I think he says,
It's a very
I do not know what your understanding is of what you have come across. I do not even know what to take of what I see here before me. But if you can fix this thing, we would see it done. That is true. Whatever our intentions may be, I am not sure that I could convince you of them in these moments. Is there something I could say that would change your
Promise
mind?
not to like pursue world domination.
I think
Well, that Lux,
Doc is going to
that's-
turn to Rhea and be like, Rhea, what do you think of this guy?
Yeah, I got no. Well, I got no read. But can I read? Can I get? I don't know. I don't even know what he want. What does he want? I don't even know. What? I have no read. I'm like, shrug emoji over here.
Larix, did you say your name was?
That's right.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Close enough, yes.
Are you sensed our presence and then transported yourself here along with your companions, so to say?
Indeed.
You
I
say
did
you
not
mean
sense
us. Do you mean us no harm? I guess perhaps is my question.
Wait, you were here when we got here, right,
I-
Lux? Didn't you get fiends from the?
That I don't
uh,
think from here. I think that was from the methods.
You sensed fiends, though
Okay.
you're not sure where. So if you're like asking Rhea, like, oh,
Oh.
did you sense fiends? Like, are you asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And I think
Yeah,
that Larix is like, I am no fiend, cleric.
Yeah, but are your dogs? They look kind of like fiends.
I think he like looks down at them and like, no, we are not denizens of the lower planes. The shadow lays atop our own, atop your own, he says. It is the dark mirror of the world that you inhabit, a place once we were banished to, but now possess and are connected with intrinsically. And I think he turns then back to you, Lux, like, we seek to dominate no worlds. The entirety of the plane of shadows is ours, unquestioningly.
Okay.
I think at this point, like Reg kind of like turns back to the others. I guess Jake, maybe where he is, I don't know if he's moved at all. Might not see this, but I think he gives a look of like, I'm trying to convey. I think he gives a look of like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I have no concept of. I think it's like maybe a flustered look that you don't see very often.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sure Doc would love to play around in this. It wouldn't be terrible for us to have something like this in our back pocket that we had access to.
Lyrics.
Lyrics.
Lyrics. Could you give us a moment to discuss? We do believe in a participatory decision making as a group.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake, after the haste spell wore off, Jake was laying down. He's been laying down this entire time. Like, he decided it's best, just in case, that he not make himself known. So he's actually kind of out of view of this whole thing and just kind of listening.
Okay, got it. And so I think that Larix like turns looking back over the lot of you, and he's just like, you need have no fear that you will unleash some terrible army of the Shadowkai upon your realm. The shadow falls on every world you have ever seen or known. If you are truly explorers, then know that every place that you have ever been, the shadow lays atop it and below. There is nowhere we cannot reach already. This merely is an inconvenience of an ancient mistake, one which we would have remedied and be grateful to see. And I think that then he like gazes past the lot of you at the silhouette of the ships in the distance, his like dark eyes narrowing as he looks back, and he's like, go and speak then amongst yourselves. Take as much time as you need. We have endured this long with no help.
You just gonna stay here, or do you are you in there, or do you just stay in there?
Are there more of you?
Countless.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But like, yeah,
here
like,
right now.
Yeah, here. Yeah, like on this asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
We are everywhere.
Yeah, but
and I think that with that, he says, call me when you're ready. And like he begins to like fade away, his body like kind of just going like entirely black and like melting back into the shadows with the dogs.
Can we speak here? Should we go? Is he still a shadow there?
Apparently he's
let's go
everywhere.
to
let's go back. Let's go back.
Can I, before we go, can I get a look to see if I think I can do anything first before we like make any promises?
You feel pretty confident, Doc, that you could fix all of this. The one mitigating factor will be supplies. You'll need some parts. not all of which will be like immediately accessible to you given the resources you have now. You think to the places that you've been since boarding the Dragonfly, and like you could get them. There was stuff at the Aether Station. Should you be able to like track down the Mordekaiser, there might be stuff there you could strip down. Malpieti Prime, maybe even like Cerelia. Bridge isn't going to be a huge help for the resources you need to repair this, but you think it's fixable.
Okay.
Cool.
And do we think it's fixable to determine what plane, or does it only specifically go to the Shadowfell?
No, I think that, like as this is kind of a paraphrasing of a conversation maybe that a lot of you are having heading back to the ships, it goes to many places, Doc. You're pretty sure that with like a rough kind of calculation, there are like no less than 72 different like combinations that you could set on the control panel for potential destinations.
Can I understand something too? Is
Sure.
this, when he's talking about that their gate is broken, is this their gate, or there's like another gate that we have to fix as well?
No. Just
This
for
is
a
their
matter of
gate.
clarity, this was a gate that would have allowed like ships or cargo to be transported from the prime material plane to other planes of existence. This gate is broken, right? And so what he's saying is that the last place that it was set to was the demi-plane of shadow. And as such, it's like on the fritz where it just turns itself on. And it's like opening this portal to the shadow plane every few days. And where he's like,
We just caught the end of a 4-day cycle? That's really unlucky.
So we're alone now and discussing.
I think we're alone.
I think Reginald would just say like, do you think that that's true? What they said about the shadow going over everything?
Yeah, I didn't insight check.
I don't. Sorry,
Yeah,
I feel that
know.
we are all distracted.
Yeah,
it's
that
very
was kind of what I was angling for, Chris. When I was asking for it.
Yeah, I know, but then I didn't understand enough to know what I could have even insight checked. So. I feel like to just do like, do I believe him or not? I don't even know what I'm like.
I
don't
was
I
wanting to
mean-
understand if like the part where he's like, yeah, no, we're not like seeking to invade. We just want this portal closed. Like,
Oh,
if that
I
was
couldn't
true or
insight
not.
check that.
I feel like
Can I retroactively insight at disadvantage, Rich? You can say no.
Sure, you can try.
You can say
Rhea.
no. For real.
Yeah, you can try.
Think
You can
back.
try.
Think back. Collect all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
things
Did
that
he
you
seem
observed
honest?
there. What's your assessment?
ooh.
It's like hard. He was very like cold, but you also like get the impression that he seemed like a pretty like violent, warlike individual. He like didn't come at you that hard. You've never like seen these things before or heard of them before. So like it's hard to gauge. Was he lying? Was he not? Like he certainly didn't seem to have the kind of frantic urgency of like please fix it that somebody desperate to send an invading army might have, you know.
Sorry, you said he did or didn't seem like a
No, he
warlike
didn't. He
individual?
didn't.
Okay.
Well, he did seem like a warlike individual. Like he himself
Okay.
is wearing this
He's
armor,
holding
this
he's
really
holding
like
chains,
violent
yeah.
weapon.
Yeah.
But like he was being very like smooth and cool talking to you, and there wasn't like a frantic urgency of like please help us, you know, like there wasn't this like desperation to fix it. And he also seemed to be able to like move back and forth and you know where however he did. So it's really hard to say like do you believe him, do you not? Like that's what you're able to take away, right? He seemed like a potentially really violent person who was not being super violent, and he was very sort of laissez-faire about how he talked to you. Like, look, we'd appreciate it, but if whatever. Also, like, this is always how it's been. So,
Did Reginald pick up any details about him that would imply that he has the ability to cast spells or is a shaper of the arcane in any way?
as you scoped him out, he was carrying no like spell components. There were like no like dangling baubles or anything like that. He had nothing that like you might have like identified as an arcane focus. No wand, no ring, no staff, nothing like that. He seemed more like big and physically powerful. Broad-shouldered, tall.
I'm both. So.
Well, of course.
Part of me thinks that, immediately saying I don't trust the guy because he looks evil is wrong.
Yeah.
His dogs looked angry, but
they also were sitting very nicely.
Yeah.
Well, where is Jake?
Oh, where is Jake? We're frantically looking for Jake.
Jake will
yelling.
quietly say, "I'm still lying down over here."
You should. Okay. Yeah.
Goodness.
Gosh.
Gave us a scare.
Yeah.
Did you see that creature? Oh, I apologize. That person?
No, I heard the entire conversation, though. I mean, if he's looking to invade, it's a big universe. I'm not too scared about that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I agree, just that this is not that far from Bridge.
Did anyone else get the sense that his civilization were the ones that were being invaded or attacked, that this was being used, but just in the reverse? One does not put up a blockade unless something is coming through.
He said they didn't want to have to worry about things coming in randomly or like eyes peering, like, at what they're doing. But he seemed very confident in the fact that whatever shadowy situation or realm that they're from, they have complete and utter control over.
If you're being attacked, somebody's coming in, isn't it better that it's only open 4 days of the year? Like it's only open 4 days and then it's closed 4 days. That means otherwise you have to spend 100% of your security efforts every day. You don't know, but if it's closed 4 days, those guys get a break. So if they're being attacked, why would they want us to fix the fact that it could be open all the time?
So that we can shift it away, I think, because I think we can choose where it leads, right?
I got the sense, perhaps, that he wanted it repaired so that he could then... It appears as though it is working in a way that they have no control over. But if we repair it, I think they would have interest in shutting it down completely.
I think they want the connection.
Which does not make any sense to me.
But he said they can never shut down the tether. It's always going to be tethered, always.
Yeah, but they want to keep it closed.
But yeah, maybe it's not the prime plane that they want to be able to access. But if we fix it, it could access other planes for them.
But I think it's on our side though.
Yeah.
I think that there were coordinates, right? So if we put in maybe a different set of coordinates or something, then we could access a different plane, perhaps.
Reggie, can I have you make an intelligence check?
Yeah. I think, as he's saying this, he's thinking, but he's also talking while thinking, which is classic. And he's just like, where is it that we are intending to go? I realize that it is exciting to be aware of another plane, but do we have some sort of
so I'm very much of two minds. This thing is cool, and I would like to fix it and have it work, just because it's cool to fix things and make them work. But I don't really know what we would do with it or what they would do with it. Because we're not planning on going anywhere in particular, right? We still got to go fight Occam at some point. So it only feels like fixing it because it would be cool to fix it is not a good idea. And fixing it to use it when we're not intending to use it also doesn't make sense.
Yeah, maybe we could come back.
There's 72 places. Are all of those different planes?
That's a good question.
We're not planning on using it? I thought that's the
But
whole
why?
point of the portal.
I think the question that Doc is like,
because it's
yeah,
here.
but where, like, in terms of our mission,
We have other
We're
stuff
explorers.
to do.
We're
Yeah.
explorers. Doc,
True.
you can't
We are
help
explorers.
but recall opening the portal to send Alis back on Malpieti Prime, and you recall like seeing the gateway open to like this celestial realm and sending the boy back to the heavens, right? So there is like that note of like, oh, I don't know if there is a place to go. Not that that has anything to do with anything. I'm just like noting it here. Reginald, you recall retrieving the second orb from the deep Scion beneath the Tower of Tieflings on Cerelia, and you recall the orb had a distinctly shadowy interior and luminescent to it, whereas the orb that Yavanna gave you is it's like pearlescent light, this like yellowish kind of white light that softly emanates from it. The one that you had Nicholas name swallow and hide in his strange stomach for the last few months was definitely had like some type of like shadowy essence that would be called to mind as like you're talking about all this stuff.
Bad man, we're going to need you to upchuck.
when you like back then when you saw and it was shadowy, you couldn't see anything in it. Is it, or you could, but it was just shadowy? Do you remember? Do you know?
Is this to me?
To the DM.
You definitely had scoped it out, Professor, and could access it, though I think you were hesitant to like delve super deep into it because it was a little bit foreign. It was distinctly different from the other
My
one.
question was like, does it only work in the on the shadow plane? Was like my thinking, but that's not the case.
Definitely not true.
No, I think that Reginald, like, it's the sort of thing, it's like going into a haunted house where he goes through the front door and then he's like, nope, like, do not need to be here. But I do think he would suggest that we go back onto the Dragonfly and examine and make a determination at that point. I also do believe it sounds as though the materials needed, you said, Doc, would require going back to other places. Perhaps there's something at Occam's Aether station that would assist, but beyond that, I feel that our path is forward.
Yeah,
So
sure.
Explorers don't backtrack.
we should
Unless they're
backtrack
lost.
this once to deal with
Yeah.
Occam,
We should,
Yeah.
but then
backtrack.
forward, onward.
Well, also, I wanted to bring up again that the Dragonfly needs some upgrades, and
That's
I
true.
think we should visit the Mordekaiser, or possibly if there's some hunks of metal lying around in Occam's place. If we're just gonna say screw it and just head right to him and face him in his own situation, which I'm not really super keen on doing, that'd be fine too. But
He probably
I
has
would like
cool
to take care of
stuff.
Occam.
We could fight him not on his turf, and then beat him, and then go to his planet, and there could be stuff
Yes,
there.
and then
He's
fight.
definitely got cool stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
it's me, the Whispering
you're-
Plant.
Hey,
Yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you from
see.
over here. Yeah.
hey, yeah.
Okay, great.
Right.
We,
But
That
like
sounds good
cool
to me.
ship stuff, Seed. Cool ship stuff.
I don't
yeah.
know. I've never seen a cool ship before this,
that's
but probably.
All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've seen this one. This is the
I didn't
coolest.
think that, but-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're gonna go do a full sleep, and then fight Occam.
Wait, do we have to tell Creepo over there
Yeah.
that we're like
Probably should.
we'll come back, but we'll like get the
Is that
Yeah.
going to be my new name? I'm not sure. I love Creepo as much as
No,
Ben.
no,
No,
you
no,
can be whatever you
never.
want.
No, no,
Sorry,
no,
I
no,
just
no.
woke up. It's my mistake.
Good morning.
Which of them has the sending stone? Which of you all has the sending stone? The other one?
Doc,
Reg
I
definitely.
think?
Lux had one, I think. You were yelling.
Okay.
and
Then
it
Lux
The other got-
lost.
Right, I was.
The other
yelling.
got left with Rin.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So I
that's true.
think Reg's
Yeah.
interest
Yana.
would be.
Yana.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
I am
Yes,
too. I
yeah.
keep doing it.
I'm so sorry.
It's really hard.
We'll
Same-
get there. We'll get
Same
there.
character, new name. I think Reginald's interest would be in checking out any information we could glean from the shadow orb.
Okay.
And then and checking in with Yana to make sure that everything is okay on the other ship.
I think that
And then
the
sleeping.
badman just like walks out of one of the cabins like holding his stomach with this really like sour look on his mouth and just like hands you the shadow orb like I gotta go get some air. Like, as with like Jeffrey following him, he heads upstairs onto the top deck of the ship. And I think the professor, you hold the orb. You take the orb from Nicholas' name there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like the idea that we interrupted his long rest.
Yeah.
To barf up the orb.
100%.
Yeah. He's all like grouchy and I think Professor, you take the orb in your hand and there's a flare of light on the inside of it. And it like pivots almost like the pupil of an eye peering at you, and you hear a voice in your mind. Finally, you have awakened me. And I think that's where we'll leave our adventure today.
Oh no!
Oh
Oh no!
What's that?
bad.
That's ominous? That's not ominous.
It's a little ominous.
Cool.
God.
Guys, I hope this was fun. Did you all have fun? I had fun today. I hope you guys
hairy
had
in
fun.
there.
Yep.
This
That roper was
was
scary.
This is a really interesting session. I had a lot of fun. I wasn't sure where you guys were going to necessarily go. I feel like we've reached a point where like there's a lot of paths in front of you, and like you're pretty consistently like kind of like turning over new stones.
Yeah.
So there's like
Yeah.
a lot of things at play. This is, I think, space.
We've
There was
turned over
this-
stones and unearthed a lot of bugs so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
There was this moment where like everyone's like, we're gonna go to the portal. I was like, what? I know it's there, but we shouldn't go to the portal. And I was like, do I say something? And then Jake is like, well, I'll just follow wherever the ship goes. Like, all right, Jake says, we should go to the portal.
Yeah.
Let's go to the portal.
Also, now there's two things. Now we level up? Question mark.
What you do? Everybody's gonna level up, level up, level up.
yes. He said
Yes,
Yeah.
we actually level
You
up.
missed it, Troy, before you got on tonight.
Did I miss this? Did I
in the
miss this
preamble
conversation?
of
You
the
did.
At the very
call,
beginning of our
did.
call, yeah.
amidst all my teasing last week, I did mean to be like, yeah, of course, you guys can level up. And like that part just never got said. Just the teasing happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I meant for you to level up. So I was going to message you this afternoon, but I knew we had Kurt, and I was like, I think this will be like actually perfect.
Yeah,
That we
works
get
out.
to like play with Jake tonight, and now everybody can like level up coming out of this, right?
And
But
I don't think
now we can go fight Occam.
6th level.
Yeah,
I don't think
hopefully
I have
level
any-
6 is enough.
I don't think I have any. I think it's just a nature domain thing, I guess. So I'll just roll my hit dice. Can I do that?
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do.
If anybody would like to roll their hit dice tonight, you are more than welcome as we like hang
Yeah,
out
do it
here.
on the stream.
Drum roll,
Yeah.
please.
Right.
If roll 20 wants to work, it might pop like
No
3
problem.
HPs in here.
okay.
That's
Uh,
a
Nice.
4
That
plus
includes
2.
my
That's
plus 2,
got
though,
your
so that was a
con built
4
in.
on a D8. It's not super exciting.
Me. It could be worse, but
Could
it's
be
not
worse.
that
Could be worse.
bad. It's
Who's
not-
next? Who's next?
That's not working.
Is it working, Grace?
I'll just roll from my character sheet rather than doing character mancer.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Uh-huh.
just did.
Yeah,
I just hit
the character
dice.
sheet for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Sorcerers.
Jake,
there
it was
it
so
is.
nice to have you tonight.
I get
You
to
have
reroll.
no
Yeah,
idea
Kurt.
how badly you saved their asses, dude. While like tentacles
Yeah,
are
you
being
did.
severed left and right, you did like 85% of the damage to that roper, man. Wow.
There we go.
There
Yeah, see, then I rolled a 2,
That's what we like. to
I rolled
see.
a 2, and then I rolled a 1,
One.
and I rolled a 7.
There we
Honestly,
go.
these would all be rerolls, so I think you could keep
Yeah,
the 7. Like the 2 would get rerolled into the 1.
That's why I
which gets
rerolled
That's
them.
why.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
Grace knows her shit. Yep.
Yeah.
That's,
We're
that-
doing the same reroll rules as PSR.
Yeah, I mean they're my
Great.
home
Easy
reroll
peasy.
rules that I've just
Okay, here we go. Incoming.
forced
All
on
right.
all of
Professor
you.
D6. Here we
we
go.
go.
+3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no. The worst possible scenario.
Yep.
3
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
4.
it's-
But
It's okay.
still,
He took 0 damage this round.
happens.
Must be nice.
All right.
I know.
Lux?
Here we
I
go.
think I
Here
need
we
you to look
go.
at my character, man, so it's not working.
You got it. I will look.
Here we go.
I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, Lux 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Lux
That's a
needs
good
it because
Lux.
she gets
Oh, that feels
consistently
good.
like I'm trying to kill Lux every session. Apparently, it's not my
This
fault.
man-
You
Lux,
put yourself in danger.
I get
Taylor.
so like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. The hit point just difference in all of my characters is so crazy.
The hit points of this group remarkably all like very close. You guys all have like a really like tight kind of grouping of HP amongst you.
Yeah.
Which is saying something considering 2 of them are rangers that roll d10s.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
Lux yet, Micah. No,
Yeah.
I have. We're only slowly adding in Dragonfly characters. More to come. More to come. Cool.
Jake, are you going to roll?
Hit dice.
Not yet, only because I don't know what I'm leveling up
Get
Oh.
hype! That's exciting.
That's cool.
Okay. Cool.
Very cool. I mean,
Guys, I really enjoyed tonight's session. Like, I have so much fun. Like,
Wonderful.
the role playing of this group is always like such a treat. You guys are like I do feel like there is whimsy, and I've maybe not quite mastered like dangerous combat amidst whimsy, but I'll try. We'll get there eventually.
Are you
At least,
kidding me? Yeah, the whole point is that it breaks the tension and suddenly throws you into the depths of agony, which
Yeah.
is like makes the whimsy even more amazing by comparison.
yeah. I'm gonna have to workshop that plant voice, but that's a problem for another day.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the whisper thing.
Oh, no,
Is this your real voice?
It's very funny.
Like, it's just creepier when you say, I need blood and bones. Like, it's creepy.
That's what it
It
sounds
really
like
is.
before we feed him, right?
Yeah,
But
that's
who
right.
knows after the feed?
Then he gets this like
malnourished.
deep booming voice.
Yeah,
before
I'm
he-
just all
I
in.
take on the accent of every creature that I eat.
Yeah, I'm like all in on the plant being like really offended at a lot of you implying it should be a vegetarian. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I really like.
Just
I
as
love
long as
the
we don't
notion.
walk into the Dragonfly one time and we hear "That's remarkable" out of the plant, like that.
Oh my God.
Where is Ben?
terrifying.
Cool.
That's a pretty good act. That's a pretty good impression,
That
Melissa.
was
Thank you.
pretty good, Melissa.
I've heard it a lot.
I am delighted. Tonight was a lot of fun. It's been like a really harrowing week for me, and I've been like super stressed. So I was looking forward to this tonight, and then we got on the stream last night and hit technical difficulties. So I am very glad that this all worked, and we have played D&D successfully, and now we will go our separate ways. But not before I find out what's going on with everybody this week. Grace, what do you got going on out there in the world?
Some stuff on post-show recaps. So doing some movie coverage. We covered Dune last week with Great Billy. This week we'll have some coverage of Last Duel, The French Dispatch, and Halloween Kills. So that should be fun. I'm also going to do James Bond coverage. Should be back at some point. I don't know. I think on the Patreon feed, but could be on the main feed. I don't know. And covering Succession season 3, and my pump is going off, as you'll hear in every episode. Succession season 3. It's been very, very fun. So check that out. Also on twitch.tv/Haley Strong on Fridays, cover the latest episode of Taskmaster that just came out. And then some other stuff with you, Rich, but somebody will play.
Somebody will mention that, I'm sure. Somebody will mention that. How about you, Melissa? What do you got going on this week?
So I podcast over on the Patreon feed for post show recaps covering YA. So we've got no episode this week, but there will be something new next week, TBD. So you can follow me on Twitter, MelissaW28, or check out the Patreon Discord and find out what that's going to be. And I hang out occasionally over here for Humble Year with Grace and Rich, and we're cute woodland creatures. So episode 2 was on Friday. So that's available to watch. That was very fun. And then I was also just on, you can like hear me, I guess, on a thing that recently dropped on here, where I was on the second D&D musical, The Journey Home.
Journey Home.
Yeah.
Where you very like quietly broke my heart, Melissa. Oh my God, the weeping. I thought I was gonna like keep it together And then I tried to talk, and that was a big mistake. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tough thing where like you have to podcast and not cry at the same time. Whoo!
Try,
It's
yeah.
like
I had to
patting
sing
my
and not
head
cry
and
at the
rubbing
same
my
time.
belly.
That was also
you know
difficult.
what I mean? I don't know. It was extraordinary, Melissa. Like I have not actually like commended you personally for that, but my God, that was really exceptional.
Thank you. As someone who is very much not a singer, like I was actively discouraged from taking choir as a child. It was, I it was a fun thing to do, and so if any of the patrons are kind of, you don't have to be some like really good singer in order to participate. So just putting that out there.
Well, I found it inspiring, the like level of courage that you have to be able to do that. I've talked about it a little bit, but like I turn the camera on here every week, and like I think that like I'm good enough at D&D to like put it on live, and like I'm not that embarrassed. But to sing, oh my word, like true confidence and conviction. It's inspirational and really well done. It was delightful. Everybody go watch the musical. Taylor, what do you got going on?
Oh, nothing much. Tomorrow's Survivor.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
We're gonna find out what.
Gosh, I wonder
What's
what
gonna
happened.
happen?
If
Yeah.
I could turn
Let's
back
see what
time.
happens.
Yeah, we know.
By smashing it.
Kurt,
Yeah.
how about
Yes.
you? Anything out there in the world you want to like hype up or point our attention towards?
Oh,
Yeah, you
geez.
can catch my podcast on Geodes and Quartz, the Clark Crystal. I don't have a podcast. There's nothing
What?
there's nothing about me is interesting,
That's a
so
total-
go follow.
You
a
were
little bit
on.
more,
Were you on Nothing But Netflix? It's like not that far back, weren't you?
Yeah, like a few weeks ago, we talked about an episode of Great British Baking Show / Bake Off. But
I love
yes.
that
It's so
show.
good.
I've been keeping up. It's so good.
Yeah. I haven't.
Oh.
been.
It's my favorite thing in the universe.
Yeah.
I watched the episode and then I just watch it again.
I just
and then I just
heard-
start the season over.
I heard
British Bake
Oscar
Off
Isaac
and-
talking about the Great British Bake Off today as like that's like what he was doing on the set of Dune in between like, takes. So, like when they would get super stressed, they would go watch Great British Bake Off. He's like, it's just
Because
great.
it's
It's
so
great, you know.
comforting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so just
Great
sweet and
Canadian Bake
wholesome.
Off is also airing right now, so
Really
there's
good.
2 different Bake Offs to watch, which has been really lovely.
Yeah.
And I
What?
think the bakers on the Canadian version are better than the ones on
Oh
the British
my
version.
God!
They
Shots
gotta
fired,
do this
England.
Canadian version. What?
Shots fired
What?
from the Commonwealth. I love it.
Early
Oh.
seasons of Great Canadian Bake Off were hosted by Dan Levy, so
Yeah.
highly recommend.
I'm gonna bake
Oh my God.
cookies tonight when I get
David.
off of this, and they're not gonna have goddamn raisins in them either. Let me tell you guys
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot
it was
less-
Raisin Week.
There's a lot
No.
less dried fruit in general in the Canadian baking show, which I
It's
very
just
much
sitting there.
appreciate.
If you say fold it
Oh,
in
I
one
thought-
more time. What you,
I thought you said it was a Canadian bacon show.
Oh.
All right, we got a female
Just
here.
all about ham.
Yeah, we got this back bacon.
yeah.
Troy,
Yep.
how about
Uh,
you? Is there
Hey,
anything
I'm
happening
part
in
of the
world?
new Fee Rashers team, and
The new Fee
yeah, you
Rashers.
bet. We've been coming in here winning this bacon off for a long time. That's not at all what
Great.
Newfie
It's a
sound like,
great accent.
obviously.
No, it doesn't. But
New
it
No,
was
I don't know. I
really-
just-
Rashers.
It was a little bit like small town.
There was a
Ontario.
moment where I dipped into Newfie. It was
Yeah.
a moment, but it went in many other places.
Is there anything in the world,
Fascinating.
Troy, that we should be paying attention to that you want to like direct the many eyes and ears of the Dragonfly viewers towards?
Every morning when I rise, the first thing I do is bend my knee. No, you must go listen to the musical that Melissa partook in. It's really, I want to say delightful. It's really not delightful, but it's
Oh,
incredibly
gosh.
It's really
impressive.
sad.
It's a
Yeah.
magnificent achievement of like the technical
excellent
skill of the
film,
people
among other
involved, and
things,
like
yeah.
a great marriage of a bunch of people's passions and professions and talents and hobbies, and a magnificent way to convey the story of a D&D game. It really is like something. Like if anybody here hasn't seen it, go check it out. It's like sitting right here in the VODs. and it's a hell of a thing. The podcast will be up later this week. I am editing it, I swear to God. Yeah, what else? Other than the musical, you should check out Humblewood. That's been really fun. 2 episodes up now, also here in the VODs at Twitch TV/DM Philly. I promise you we will be back with the epilogue of Firelight Tales one of these days. And otherwise, yeah, that's about it. I did record the first preview podcast of the Wheel of Time podcast that's going to be on the Post Show Recaps main feed proper. That is so exciting. I cannot wait. November 19th is the premiere. You guys should keep your eyes and ears out for more coming on that front. Anybody who wants and is involved with Post Show Recaps, if you guys can read the book Eye of the World by next Thursday, November 11th, book club that night, Josh and I will be in attendance to nerd out. So that's it.
I'm reading nothing, coming in totally blind.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch the show.
Great. You're going to love it.
I was waiting for your audiobook.
Yeah,
I
recorded 5 chapters.
So many other things going on.
I recorded 5 chapters of it. We can't go on a tangent. What did we see? What?
I just wanted to say quickly, the audiobook for the Wheel of Time is read. The original one is read by 2 fantastic people.
Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, who are magnificent.
They're really good.
Yeah.
They just released a new version that I believe the actress
Rosamund
that plays...
Pike. Yes, we talk about it on the podcast. Josh informed me, but Rosamund Pike, the actress who is playing Moraine, one of the lead characters, has begun reading a copy of the audiobook. And so, yeah, apparently it's good. But Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, exceptional. Anyway, go into the show cold. It doesn't matter if you've read it or not.
Yes.
I think it's going to be quite a journey. Produced by Survivor Guatemala alumni Rafe Judkins. There's weird crossover energy there. Gotta love it. I am out of my mind. It's going to be a blast. And for anybody who's been paying attention to anything that I've been doing here for the last year, there's a lot of Easter eggs. That's all I'll say. Guys, this has been really cool. I was super psyched for tonight's episode. Awesome to have you with us tonight, Jake. And yeah, I think that with that we'll say bye.
Bye.